Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. This is the Pop Culture Superfight Deathmatch 2, War of the Action Heroes.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Bill, but I never left.
You never left. I never left either. I didn't get up.
I got no choice. I live here.
That's fine. That's fair. So, hanging out today, it's me. I'm Bill Sweeney. I don't know why that matters, but you know who matters? Everybody else. You got my buddy Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping it nice and clean. I got, who are you? Edward O'Hare? Edward?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. He's going to go with that. And I got my brother Bob.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
How's everything?
Everything's good.
You hearing me?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, sounds
You
a
feel like
low
you're a little
on my
low?
end. Yeah.
I don't know. You seem like you're hitting me fine.
Is your mic on?
Yeah, his mic is definitely on.
Yeah, can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah. All right, everybody's good? Everybody's here? Full attendance?
All right, yeah, that's better.
All right. All right. So,
right.
I don't know if anybody, if you've heard the first time we did this, or if maybe you guys around the table even remember the first time we did this. But this is how this goes. We've collected 16 characters from pop culture. This particular time, it's all action heroes. All right. So, keeping that in mind, these are actually grounded type action heroes. So, no superpowers. A couple of characters, maybe it gets a little close, but not. There's no magic. There's no hoot and hollering, whammy jammy, flim flammy, the Force or magic wizard sticks.
No gifts of mutant DNA.
No, it's mostly guns and fists.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if anybody's a fan of that type of stuff.
The usual kind of hijinks.
I've seen all these movies 50 times.
All right, then. I think we found our fan. I think we found a guy. I think we found the right guy. So, basically...
Careful.
So be careful.
Careful.
Be careful how this goes. Well, here's how it kind of breaks down. Like, hey, this is our March Madness thing. This is a bracket system thing. So it's going to be a bunch of head-to-heads. But, like other shows do them, we have to do it different. So, other shows will do this where it's like Star Trek versus Star Wars. All right, but we don't do that.
Because we're special.
Because we're special. But what we do is we take Superfight cards. Jay, I need you to hand me the pack of Superfight cards that's somewhere over the table behind you. You'll have to remove your headphones and go spelunking. I'm sorry. But we use these cards from the game called Superfight. It's a card game where...
You had to make it the hardest one to find. It's like
not on purpose. It's in time
tu-
for Easter. It's like an Easter egg hunt.
tucked behind 6 different things.
But he succeeded. He succeeded.
Yes, he did.
I knew that he could. I knew that he would. That's why we invited him.
We weren't sure if he should, but we did. And everything turned out okay.
Everything turned out beyond okay. So here's how this is going to go. This is going to we've got cops, spies, soldiers, lone wolves, loose cannons. We're going to find out who's going to be the last action hero standing. All right? Good guys against each other. It's going to be crazy. We got crazy-ass cops like John McClane from Die Hard. We got Martin Riggs from Lethal Weapon, Harry Callahan from Dirty Harry in here. We even got Mike Lowry from Bad Boys.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with the seating, but okay.
Okay, great. Glad you weren't in the meeting. Took us a while to get it to this, okay? Trust me, everything's been thought out. All right, and then you got some spies. You got James Bond. You got that guy from Kingsman. You got Ethan Hunt. You got the chick from Atomic Blonde.
Oh, Lorraine Browden.
Well, there you go. There you go.
There you go.
By the way,
Got
that's
Ed's
a
attention
picture.
suddenly.
That's a picture of Jack Reacher.
No, it's not. No, it's
Okay. Fuck me then.
not. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe it is Jack Reacher.
Okay.
But I appreciate you pointing it out on the air.
That's from the Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol poster.
That's what I thought it was from.
That looks like Jack Reacher to me.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, it's the same guy.
Okay.
No, Jack Reacher doesn't wear a hood. He wears a ball cap.
That is true. That is
No,
true.
he had a hood on at one point.
No, usually it's a baseball
No,
cap.
I'm not going to argue with you. Just go.
Yeah, this is not the time or no other place.
Yeah.
Well, it's the place, but this is not the time. So then we got guys on a mission. We got James Braddock, which is Chuck Norris in Missing in Action. John Matrix and Commando.
Oh, the game's over.
Well, it's not. Well, pretty much. I hear
He
you.
blew up Columbia.
Well,
By himself.
basically. Well, not from the Predator,
Oh.
because that's a different series.
No,
I know it's the same character. It's the same, like, loosely, it's the same character and all that. But,
in Columbia, he
if
did-
we had to get down to pins and needles, it's from Commando. All right,
no,
because there's
he
no
did blow
alien-related stuff in
No,
this.
he still blew up the whole entire Colombian.
In Commando?
Yeah.
Okay, I just kind of forget
Wait a
the end of
minute.
Commando then.
Wait, Predator is a sequel to Commando? No one told me that.
Well, it's like
Die Hard is an unofficial sequel to Commando. It
but
turned
but
into-
isn't
it
John
turned into-
Matrix the name of the
of
character
the character? Yeah.
in Commando and in the Predator?
No,
Oh no.
no.
Oh, okay, then I don't know what the fuck I'm talking
His
about
name
at
is
all.
Dutch in
Oh, that's right. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, John Matrix from Commando, John Rambo from Rambo,
Right.
and John Wick. We probably should have made this just John's, this particular category, but that was considered for a minute when it was like looking at all the names and where the matchups might be. I was like, if we put John McClane in there, I'm like, yeah, but that's Chuck Norris is a better fit
Well,
for
you,
that.
you get a Jim. You get a James.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's all half dozen
yeah.
of another.
Yeah, this is James J. Braddock from Cinderella Man, right?
No. From I mean, maybe it's the same character. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what's going on when it's the same character.
Well,
between two movies.
he wins against Max Baer, but then ends up, eventually losing to Joe Lewis.
I'm gonna say if you say so. That's my go-to. And then in Division 4, if we're calling it Division 4, the Lone Wolves, we've got Bruce Lee from Enter the Dragon. The character's name is just Lee. Made sure of that. I had to do my research. Jason Bourne from the Bourne Identity, Ultimatum, Referendum, and Memorandum. I think that's the full series. That's all of them, right?
Yeah.
Then we got Brian Mills from Taken,
Oh.
and Paul Kersey from Death Wish. Charles Bronson.
Now, the Charles Bronson Death Wish.
Right.
Not the Bruce Willis.
Because I feel like this is about,
It was a good.
keeping that in mind. Obviously, it's like the character, but
Yeah.
you know.
I think he did a good job spreading them out. There's only one Schwarzenegger. There's only one Stallone.
right. That was key for me because it was like, action heroes as far as like, fighting and shooting and kind of like that kind of thing. Rocky, you can consider that an action hero, sure. But maybe we'll do something in another future edition where we can do something where Rocky could fight Rambo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like actor versus two roles, something
Well,
like that.
I feel like to that you would just have to do the Schwarzeneggers, like just all of the Schwarzenegger characters. Go against
like that's
each
a
other.
whole a whole division at least.
Yeah.
It's like that's like 4 entries into the
No,
16.
I mean like just 16 Schwarzeneggers.
No, fuck you. Is what
We-
I'm saying.
we
No,
could-
no. I got you 16. I knew that.
We
I
could-
tried to downplay it
Yeah.
into 4.
we could come up with 16. Good
I know that we
Schwarzeneggers.
could. But I don't think the guy from that Turbo Man Christmas movie needs to be in it. Kindergarten Cop. Yes, I got it. Kindergarten Cop has
Jingle
to
all
be
the
in
way.
there. Jingle all the way. No go.
Twins. Junior.
Yes.
Junior.
I just worry about what that 16th one on the list is going to be. Where we're scratching our heads like,
Sixth day. That's the 16th seed.
Six.
That's the 16th seed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so enough of that. That's pretty much how it breaks down. If I remember correctly, it just kind of starts with shenanigans. What we kind of do is we kind of the breakdown is going to be like this. It's going to go in the first round. Each one of these characters is going to get 1 card. Whatever's on that Superfight card is their attribute or detriment, because that's how the cards from Superfight work.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're a plus, sometimes they're a minus. And basically, we're going to talk it out. We're going to hash it out. We're going to try and figure it out who would win in that matchup.
All right.
And then the next that winner gets to go on ahead. Obviously, that's how that goes. It's a bracket system.
All right.
Does that sound like I'm explaining it right?
Yeah, let's go.
Does it sound like it makes sense?
It makes sense.
Does it sound like it might be fun?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are we doing 1 round or 2?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No, what do you mean 1 round or 2?
Are we doing each of them is just getting 1 attribute, or are they getting another attribute each round?
Yeah, then in round 2,
Do we get them another
no,
attribute?
they carry over the card from round 1,
Okay.
and then in the semis, we throw out that original card, give them a new card.
Ah, okay.
Because last time that's what we did. We piggybacked and we kept on adding cards, and it got crazy.
Okay, so once we get to the final 4. Okay.
Right, and then in the semifinals, we get a new card.
All right. So round 1, what's the first matchup we're doing?
Basically, as it is. Who are the people in your neighborhood? No, who Who do we got? What was the top one? The top two was on the right-hand side. McLean and Riggs. McLean and Riggs. Jay, let's you pull off a top card here. That's going to be McLean. And this is going to be whatever Riggs has got for round one here. All right. John McLean, you know from Die Hard. Jay, what's he got to work with?
He's wearing one of those cones they put on to keep pets from licking themselves.
All right. It's not always a plus in here, folks.
That's Riggs.
That's John McClane.
That's John McClane.
That's Die Hard.
John McClane. And Martin Riggs
Yeah.
is figuratively on fire. And literally.
Okay. Didn't have to yell. Didn't have to yell.
Yeah. Definitely did.
The microphones are much more sensitive than they used to be.
Sorry.
But so now, because I couldn't hear anything after whatever you yelled.
What?
What was the card?
So he's figuratively on fire and literally.
All right. Oh, so he's flamboyant and aflame.
Yeah.
Is that what they mean by on
No,
fire?
I think
Well,
on
on
fire. I
fire.
think on fire means whatever it is, he's hot. Like
He's on a
he
roll.
goes gambling, he's on a roll. He's,
Oh.
you know, so he's on fire, but he's
I
on
thought he was
fire.
on, like he's.
He's
set
literally
on.
on. He's literally a flame, like
on fire.
combusting, but also like he's in the zone.
Yeah, he's in the zone. He's
He's
rolling
also in
through.
the zone. He's on fire.
Yeah,
he-
like,
Like he can't.
oh man,
lose.
you're in the
He-
pocket right
Yeah.
now. You're on fire,
But I'm
kid.
also in flames.
But you're also aflame. You should see somebody.
Like, dude, it's really bad that you're actually on fire.
Like
Because,
you need
dude,
water.
you are on fire.
If your goal was to find something to extinguish, you'd be doing pretty good. All right, so that's almost like a bad mutant power.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's on fire for being on fire. All right. So
I mean,
He's Johnny Cash's Man on Fire.
I guess that's Ring of Fire.
yeah.
Oh.
So
Who is a
McClane.
Man on Fire? I know that from something. That's why I'm
a
getting
movie.
mixed up.
So McClane, he's got the cone around.
That's protective,
Yeah.
but is it plastic?
I mean, he can't really hide in vents with that. Like, it's gonna be hard for him to get around and move.
Depends
yeah.
on how big it is.
Yeah, I think.
Not that big.
Yeah, I think he might be able to make it around
Yeah,
the
you
vents.
can make it in the vents.
You got to think he can hide in the vents,
But
with
he can't.
Yeah.
He's got no peripheral vision.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, making the turns, it's not that safe. Looking
I
around
think
corners
more
ain't
important.
easy.
I think more importantly, he can't bite anybody.
Well, here's the thing. It's one of the things that's for a dog, right? That's how they phrase it.
Yeah.
So it's like dog-sized. So it's not proportionally to a human size.
So it's probably just around ear height. So
Right. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of how big it is, you know?
Well, dogs' heads are. They're not that much smaller than human heads.
I mean, that depends on the dog.
No, but the cone. Well, the cone does have to be kind of wide because
Yeah.
dogs have long snouts, right?
yeah.
Some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like. But that John McClane though, he's not. Besides being a flame, he's on fire. He's in the zone.
That's
Oh,
Riggs.
Yeah, Martin
Riggs rather. Riggs
Yeah.
is in the zone. He's in the hot pocket.
Yeah, and even when he's not on fire, like he can shoot something with pinpoint accuracy from 1,000 yards away.
I mean, if these two were
Talking
gonna,
Johnny McClane though.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If these two go at it,
Yeah.
you know, with cards or without cards,
You know, if you're set on fire, that's not necessarily a good thing.
that's true. That's kind of distracting. You think?
Yeah, you see, if you're on fire, you're burning
little bit.
alive.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That's
And
no
you're
go.
not going to be a good shot on fire, even though you're
He
in
might
the
be
zone.
like, dude, I got to end this fight now. I'm on fire.
I'm on fire.
Yeah.
What do we do? Oh, I jump on him or something. You know?
He might be it might be an auto win. It might.
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
Although he always wore jeans and he had those really baggy shirts.
he'd like to roll around on the floor
yeah.
a lot. I think too. Like
Yeah, so the stop, drop, and roll. You know.
I think John McClane would get a shot off
yeah, I think
already. While you'll take the fact that he's on fire.
And McLean, I mean, and then Riggs had that hippie hair at the time too.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and a
that's
lot of
gone.
product.
That's already
and
gone.
so much product, so much hairspray back
Yeah.
then too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's basically Firestorm.
Yeah, I'm all right. Let's take it around to the vote. I'm gonna say John McClane for this one. I'm gonna say John McClane takes this round.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody second that or have arguments
Shoot
against?
around.
I mean,
around.
Yeah.
I would say
Who's
because
who again?
John McClane
Yeah.
Is on
is,
fire?
no.
No.
Yeah, I
He's got
think-
the cone on his now. All right.
Yeah.
He's got the
yeah.
cone on his head, and Lethal Weapon Boy is on fire.
yeah, I would say even though he's on fire, because he's on fire,
That's gonna make up the difference.
he gets one shot off. McLean is no good, and he's an excellent shot. I'm gonna give this to Riggs.
You're giving it to Riggs.
Yeah.
All right, that's
I
a
don't know.
call for Riggs.
I'm going with Bill on this one.
He's going
I'm
McLean.
going McLean.
And
I
Jay's
think
going
being on
McLean.
fire
All
means
right.
he's gonna like
All
die,
right.
die before he can do
All right, this one, this first round.
I didn't want the first one to be a sweep.
Oh yeah, sure. You were dead set voting against it. Okay, shut up. All right, so this one's gonna go to John McClane. First round, John McClane. He's taking it, folks. He's taking it. Who saw that coming? It's all about these damn cards, though, man. These cards, they change it every time. All
I
right.
will say that it had it been Mad Max Rockatansky,
Now that's a
you might have had it.
yeah. That's a different thing. I feel like that would have been John McClane didn't really stand much chance. Brother Bob, you're gonna take this first card here. Now this one here, 'cause I don't know if it's a fair matchup myself, but it's cop versus cop again. It's Harry Callahan. You may know him, Clint Eastwood from Dirty Harry movies, versus Mike Lowry, Will Smith's character from Bad Boys.
Oh Jesus Christ!
You know what I'm saying? We needed another cop to round it out, and that one came into play somehow. So,
Well, I think this was over before I drew this card.
all right. Well, you got Harry's.
It is
Well,
over.
well, you got Dirty Harry. So,
I got Dirty Harry. Oh,
so Dirty Harry's got whatever you got.
well, Dirty Harry's only 6 inches tall.
Oh shit!
All
Oh
right.
shit!
And Mike Lowry is writing a blank. Draw a character from the deck.
Draw a character from the deck. Those are the other cards.
Yeah, those are the
So
white
these
cards.
we're using the black cards to get us through this phase. And so take whatever this. Well, actually, I think I gave you bad spot. No, these are blank. All right, whatever this top one is here, you should be good. I'm not rigging it up at all, folks.
Okay, he's writing a Gandhi.
Oh,
He's riding a Gandhi.
could you
Yes.
be more offensive?
Yes. Now here's the thing. He's writing a Gandhi, and Gandhi
He's okay with it?
loves all creatures.
That's true. That's true.
So knowing that there's a 6-inch tall person, he's going to be super careful and not do anything to put that 6-inch dirty hairy.
well-
he's Gandhi. I don't think he's gonna do anything. Period.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to give the guy a ride, and that's about where the niceness lays
I mean,
out.
this man does hunger strikes.
Yeah.
You know, he's all about meditation. He's all
much of
about
an attribute.
he's all about not doing anything and
Nonviolent
to bring it.
protest.
Yeah.
You know what? I really don't care. I still think it's Dirty Harry. It doesn't matter. I don't think Mike Lowry is as good a shot riding on Gandhi's shoulders
Yeah.
of a guy who's probably like not holding him up too well, considering his that
Really,
your
he
new
like-
human camel doesn't have a good
Gandhi
physical
probably weighs about
dexterity.
80 pounds, so
Yeah.
too. He doesn't eat.
It's a literal bag of bones you're on top of.
Dirty Harry may be 6 inches tall, but I don't think his 44 Magnum is. So he's not going to be able to hold that thing and get off a shot.
But I can imagine hijinks of Will Smith riding around on Gandhi's shoulders, buying Clint
so much
Eastwood
time.
enough time to like climb up the backside, pull back the hammer, click, get it into place, run down to the front side, push on the finger trigger, click, and then it finally goes off.
He's 6 inches tall, not 6 centimeters tall.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, he could run
That's
around.
true. I
down
did
there
make
a
him
lot
the
faster than
incredible.
that.
I did make him Adam.
The gun is about 10 inches long, and he's 6
Yeah.
inches tall. It's not.
Well, that's not that
But
bad.
it probably weighs twice his size.
Sure, but
Yeah.
point being, even if it did shrink down with
Yeah.
him proportionately, I'd still think he's got 6 good shots in him.
This is Dirty Harry we're fucking talking about.
That's what I mean.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he's 4 inches, 4 centimeters. He's gonna fucking.
I mean, I feel like this particular card doesn't slow him down enough.
Nope.
You know, whether his gun shrank or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the round. I'm gonna give this to Dirty Harry.
You're gonna go Dirty Harry. All right. How about you, Bob?
I can't go against Dirty Harry.
Okay. Whether or not he's 6
Sorry.
inches.
Sorry.
What about you?
On the principle
grew
that
up with
he's
Dirty
fighting
Harry.
Will Smith from that shit movie. Dirty Harry won this before we even started.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So hold on to. Did I take those? Did I take these cards back?
I
No,
gotta
right?
hold on to
This
this.
is the one I did earlier.
Right. So hold on to those cards because it's going to be those cards plus a new card
I
in
have
the next
nothing but
round.
losers in my hand.
Fair enough.
All right, so then these can be
used it
discarded. Right. These are
Well,
losers.
just keep them around because we're going to need them in case.
Okay, I'm gonna put them right here.
Because
Sorry.
actually, you know what? I'll just do this. John McClane. I don't remember where they are. Someone should be keeping track of all this. But yeah, they're supposed to carry over this particular trait from round 1 into round 2 with a new attribute. All right, so that gave us for the next one down the line. It's going to end up being John McClane versus Dirty Harry, but we'll get to that. Right now, we're going sassy, sexy spies. Okay, this one's going to be James Bond versus Harry Hart.
Ooh.
I'm going to take this top card from the black pile. Jay's going to take... Not for this next round. Not for this next character.
That's for a different character.
That's for what was it?
I never used it.
Who do you have?
Gave me one early.
Who do you have? Who character do you have?
I didn't get one.
Right, okay, fair enough.
Who did you play in the first round with Ed?
I was John McClane.
Then
John
that's
McClane.
John McClane's card.
Wasn't it?
John McClane's got the cone on his neck, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
no, I
somehow
didn't see it
Jay
sitting.
ended up with 2 cards.
Oh, fair
and
enough,
only
fair
used
enough.
one.
Okay, keep that one. So that's going to be James Bond, and then Ed, you're going to have this for Harry Hart. That's because that's a new thing we haven't
Okay.
used yet, right?
Yeah.
I must have heard it, so you didn't realize. Okay, fair enough. And then what is this?
Were you not paying attention to Palmer and he's
Shut up,
texting you?
Yeah, basically, he says someone is keeping track. Are you not looking at the bracket? No, I wasn't looking at the bracket. I'm sorry, but he texted me to let me know.
Well, whenever he does that, we should tell on him on the air.
Fair enough. All right, I didn't have the chat room open. I didn't have the chat room open, Palmer. I'm sorry. Fair enough. All right, so now James Bond. You've heard of him.
Yes.
He's 007. He's got some funky stuff. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. But Jay, what does he got in this particular round?
What does James Bond have?
Yeah, what's he got? Some super fight action here.
He can run 200 miles per hour in a straight line.
Ooh.
I think you're going 200 miles an hour.
Now, to be fair, this is from Casino Royale, so this is Daniel Craig James Bond.
That's not what I'm
No,
looking at. I'm looking
no.
at Sean Connery, first of all.
And first of all, none of that matters. It's
None of
Well,
it
no,
matters.
I'm looking at the bracket in the doc. It says from Casino Royale.
And I'm looking at a picture of Sean Connery.
and that's fine because
Okay.
James Bond is in 26 movies.
Okay,
Did you think-
no. All right, I gotta stop you right here.
Okay.
You need to say which James Bond, because it makes a big fucking.
Do I have to
difference.
say which Ethan Hunt? Do I have to say?
There is only one Ethan Hunt because his name was Jim Phelps in the TV show.
Fine, fair enough. But what about all those other names he's had in those movies?
No, the Tom Ethan Hunt
up.
is Tom Cruise.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
you know what? You can be any James Bond at this point. It's James
No,
Bond.
No.
because
If Ed wants to,
I
if
am
Ed
telling
wants
you
to
right
stop
now,
the game,
my answer to this question completely depends on which James Bond, because the George Lazenby James Bond and the Roger Moore
whichever
James
one you
Bond,
need it to be.
No,
As long as he doesn't
Bill,
have magic powers and he's
I
not.
need you to tell me. I need you to tell me.
Wait,
Which one do you need? Which one do you?
Okay.
Which one do you want it to be?
No,
James
I
Bond?
don't.
What are the choices?
You guys,
Casino Royale or Sean Connery?
you.
Is that what it is?
I need to know which version of James Bond.
He's talking about all of them.
Which
Yeah.
actor?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Which actor?
Which actor, Ed?
No. You made up the bracket.
Yeah.
So
I
I mean-
made up the bracket as James Bond in total. But now you wanted to make it, no, it's got to be concrete. It has to be specific. So whichever one you want it to be, I'm
Oh,
fine.
Come on, you
He
can't.
wants it to be a specific personality.
But I don't. I don't.
just
So
want it to be
if
the
he needs it
character.
to be that to move on, then we can do that. That's what I'm
It
saying.
doesn't
Okay,
matter.
okay,
Just-
because
That's what I said 10 minutes ago.
because my answer to the question
Yeah.
depends on which one it is.
Fair enough.
But ain't I
But
James Bond?
but you got the James Bond card.
Yeah.
Right.
So what are we arguing about?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but James Bond with that attribute,
Right.
the Sean Connery James Bond with that attribute is going to be completely different from the Daniel Craig with that attribute. Is going to be completely different from Roger Moore. That's what I'm saying. Like they each have their own personality and they each have their own skill
Well,
set.
until Daniel Craig, it wasn't an
He's
issue.
going to be running
right?
200 miles an hour in a straight line.
That's why you put Casino Royale here. That's why I was going as if it was the Daniel Craig Bond. But if you put Sean Connery in the picture and it's Sean Connery, then that's a completely different proposition here.
Why? Because one knows how to fight better than the other one?
Yes.
But that's not true. They're all James Bond. James Bond in the early days when he was cool and drank martinis and shit just fought smooth. Now that he's older and he's more mature and it's 2018, he fights to kill. So what? He fights for the need of the moment. He can do whatever you need him to fucking do.
But it's the fighting style, it's the approach, it's the personality.
If I put Jason Voorhees in
the
here next
actor.
year, if I put Jason Voorhees in here next year, are you going to tell me that Jason from Jason 7 has established certain things he will do and won't do, but the Jason from Jason 9 has established things he will and won't do? Therefore, I need to know which Jason we're going to use, because that's basically what this is.
Yeah, well, these are two completely different examples because Jason Voorhees is consistent. James Bond is not consistent.
Jason Voorhees is not fucking consistent, and that's why I picked him. Okay? There's no consistency there. There's no consistency with James Bond. And that's always been the thing. One year he's fucking super cool. He goes to the fucking moon or whatever, swims in cars underwater, and the next year it's like that shit never happened. So it's all good. It's all in the mayo.
I'm having a mental block because like
to me, it's like it's all good. It's like saying which Batman are we gonna use?
But like there is
comic book Batman or movie Batman.
But see,
we're gonna go movie Batman. Which movie
that's
Batman?
the problem. There is a generic version of Batman that you can go to.
And for everybody except you right now, there's a generic version of James Bond you can go to who will fucking just find a way, if he's James fucking Bond, to fucking save the day. Whether or not it's a Daniel Craig and he does some fucking Krav Maga, fucking martial arts this time. You know what I mean? Smooth is fucking smooth, whether it's using your feet or using your fucking voice. And that's James Bond, man. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it, and that's why he's the only one with a franchise out of guys that are in multiples in this, because most of these movies are franchisey, that has that wide of a fucking change in it. Just because it's not the same guy.
For my personal sake, I would like you to make a choice.
Well,
and I think I did.
Yeah, but
And I think by saying that it's supposed to be any and all of them, that I did make a choice.
All right. So
that was a distinctive choice.
Okay, so now I've got one guy fighting six guys.
So what does James Bond can do? He can run in 100
200 miles an hour.
200
straight
miles
line.
in a straight line.
Okay.
And your card was for?
Harry Hart.
Harry
and
Hart.
He's bionic.
If it makes you feel better, you want me to pick James Bond because I'm James Bond?
All right, fine. Yeah, that would be fine. That would work.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm with you on the whole James Bond.
I mean, it's for
it doesn't matter to me. He's
I feel like for the purposes of this, you know what I mean?
All I say is Matt Myra and Matt Gorley from James Bonding would be totally on my side with this.
And that's fine. I'm sure that there's a lot of different ways to look at it. But I think for the purposes of what we're doing here, where it's all a goof, we've already spent way too much time.
Daniel Craig's James Bond.
It's a goof to someone who is like our biggest movie file.
Well, and I get that, and I get that.
He's seen every James Bond movie. He's dissected every James Bond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
if you pick Daniel Craig, it cancels my power out because he can run 200 miles anyway.
Oh, Daniel Craig can just do that with his if he has his shirt off. I mean, if he has his shirt off.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, you gotta make sure he has his
So it
shirt
doesn't
off.
matter if it's a straight line. He could do it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
To be fair, I've seen The World Is Not Enough 6 times, and I don't even like that one.
Which one is that? Is that Timothy Dalton?
That's Pierce Brosnan.
No, same
That's
guy-
the
same
third
thing.
Pierce Brosnan. That's the first not really good Pierce Brosnan.
I think the first Pierce Brosnan is the first not good Pierce Brosnan.
No. GoldenEye is great.
All right.
Throne of Eyes is pretty good too.
It's the era.
GoldenEye has to get some credit because it did spawn
On a video game?
excellent
Video game?
Yes.
You're gonna go there.
Yeah.
All right. So this particular one, it's James Bond versus Harry Hart. All right. So how do we break this down?
refresh my memory. Who is Harry Hart?
That's the dude from Kingsman.
That's Colin Firth's character.
The guy with
Okay.
glasses.
All right. I haven't seen much of that movie, but I know the character.
Yeah, I figure that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, to me, because he has so much tech, I feel, and so much like really out there spy tech, this is just kind of an extension of the kind of powers that he already has, the skill set that he already has.
Who's that?
what does he have?
Harry's.
Harry.
Which was, I'm blanking out. I'm trying to get back into it, but my head's in a million different places.
What's the power?
Yeah, what's his skill set? What's his limitation
He's
skill?
bionic.
He's bionic.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that is kind of true.
Yeah.
He does fight kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, in the chat,
Yeah.
Agent Palmer is saying that we did base this off the movies. We went with Casino Royale specifically because we wanted this to be the Daniel Craig James Bond.
I don't
Evidently,
remember that.
you guys did have this discussion.
We probably did, I guess. Bill, he's right. We went Casino Royale. It is Daniel Craig. Bill, we did base this off the movies,
Okay.
I guess.
All right. So
I mean, I don't know what to say to that because I don't recall it right
so
now.
I guess Uncle Jay is Daniel Craig.
I know, just because Palmer comes in doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything.
That's always true.
So it's
Yeah.
not just
I'm
200
sorry.
miles in a straight line. It's 200 miles everywhere.
Right.
I don't think it changes anything. I don't think it changes anything.
I didn't either.
Because it doesn't lock
I
anything in.
don't, in the lieu of this power, yeah, I don't think it matters.
Because here's the thing, in this fight, you could sit here and say, yeah, Kingsman versus James Bond before Daniel Craig came around, they wouldn't, Kingsman would kick his ass in a fight.
Okay,
But
I'm
now
going
that Daniel-
to explain.
All right, I'm still not fucking done yet.
Okay.
But go.
All right, I'm going to explain to you right now why this makes the difference. Because the Daniel Craig James Bond,
Right.
all you have to do is mention Vesper Lynd, and he will stop on a dime. No matter how fast he's running, he will stop and bow his head and brood for 3 minutes. It has to happen every fucking movie. And that's the moment
all right,
where
all right.
Bionic Harry Hart goes in and just slits his fucking throat.
Yeah, however-
To me at this point, that's the advantage that Harry Hart has over the Daniel Craig James Bond that he
Right.
would not have had over Pierce Brosnan
Right.
or Roger Moore.
Right, and that's why if
Yeah.
if it's open to all of them, then that's there.
No, that's
Because let me tell you something, as James Bond, if you tell me I can't have Daniel Craig, then how am I going to survive a fucking a fist fight against Harry Hart? I'm not.
See, to me,
But Daniel Craig's in the mix, so that's there. So
Yeah,
that means I
yeah.
actually can fight pretty
but
fucking
what I'm
good.
saying is all of the other ones are specific ones from specific movies they're really been played by one actor. That's why I made the distinction with the Death Wish one that this is the Charles Bronson Paul Kersey
Right.
and not the Bruce Willis Paul Kersey.
Whatever, man. I don't think it fucking matters.
I don't,
Because in the end,
I think
I don't know.
I think in this instance, you really generally just have to think James Bond as James Bond. I think that's the fairest way to think about it when you're setting up the grid. I don't think it should have been discussed to even figure out which James Bond. I think at this point, when you've decided it's just James Bond, and this situation comes up where Ed says something like, there's that key word. He's, as I said, he turns off basically. Then it's like, okay, well, every James Bond has that, as Daniel Craig as James Bond has that. All the James Bonds have that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
That's not just indicative to Daniel Craig's James Bond. That's all of
That's
them.
the way you make sure that it's as fair as it could be. You generalize James Bond, the character, but then you take all of the abilities that you know of from all of the films and you kind of amalgamate them into the one character.
See, but then you're doing
Because the
something.
one character is a one person who has lived a lifetime across multiple stories. Okay? So along the way, he learns and he grows. Okay? And he gains things, and we find out about hidden weaknesses along the way. And this is exactly what has happened with this character. So we have one character. We have one fucking James Bond who has this ability.
you see
you
how
get
bad-
your fucking wish. We get James fucking Bond as James fucking Bond, and we can move on.
Okay. So
Thank you.
But we're doing the Daniel Craig James Bond. That's what you decided.
It's in there.
So,
it's in
yeah.
the mix.
You can't do that because what I'm saying is they're completely different movies. They're completely differ't versions.
He just didn't hear
They
a word I
don't
said.
interact with each
hasn't
other.
been hearing a word you
One
said.
can't combine. You can't combine that because then it's not fair to the other 15 people we're dealing
This is
with.
4 stars all over again.
How is it not? How is it not fair to? How's that?
Be-
It's the only one that it's applicable
this
to.
is why it's a big fight. That's what I'm saying. Either pick one or don't have James Bond. Because like
I
it
think
has
you're-
to be
I
a
think
specific
you're-
actor.
Because one- wait, 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 wait.
Because all 6 versions are way too different from each other.
But they're not.
Yes, they are.
That's the point of a retcon. That's the point of a retcon. Is
Yeah.
that Daniel Craig? Anything that's new with him is back established now. If you had said Vesper fucking bicycles or whatever the shit that you said was,
yeah.
was,
Lazenby.
what was
Yeah.
the secret? Was the secret code word that gets his heart and soul? So that's not a thing that would be in Sean Connery's
can I?
No, it wouldn't.
canon, like
No,
thing.
it wouldn't.
Oh well, guess what? You're playing Superfight. That's all this is.
Yes, but there's one thing we're all missing here.
Okay, fair enough.
By the time he says that, I've already been gone. So
He's
I don't
running
know what
200
he
miles an
plans
hour.
to do.
I
to
like
cut
Jay's
my
point
throat
though.
Is the fact that whether I'm fucking Lazenby or Sean Connery or Roger Moore, my fucking launch to run away from you will be way the fuck down. You're not going to be able to say, that's my cut my throat and reach me where I'm at.
Wesley's got a
But
point.
no, but-
Wesley's got a point. He's like, we didn't say it was locked into the other guy either.
But this isn't a race. This is a super fight.
Yes, but I can run 200 miles an hour in a straight line to get away from you, who's bionic, who's about to say the Vespa fucking name to cut my throat, but you're not going to reach me because I'm already gone. Boom.
Yeah, and we all know in the world of bionics that the
It
$6
doesn't
million
matter.
man can only run 60 miles an hour.
And it doesn't matter what bond I'm at because I have that 200 miles an hour power to run away from him, who's bionic, who's
Right.
about to use something against
And
me.
it doesn't
no
matter
what
what
it is.
bond you are because there's only one bond who has all the abilities that
So I'm
he's
s-
worried about in the first place.
Right, so I'm just going to run away with my power because he's bionic. So it might be just
So
an
basically,
endless
like, you're
chase.
just asking me if kryptonite works.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, kryptonite works. If your character has a fucking
All
kryptonite,
right,
I guess
so-
it works.
So that's
To a degree.
That's my argument for why Harry Hart wins this.
And this is why the live show was 55 minutes.
Moving right along.
All right.
Who you giving it to? Who you giving it to, folks? We've heard a lot of back and forth on it.
I feel that I'm going to be always ahead of him if with my speed
yeah.
for him to do his bionic powers. on
Yeah.
me.
I mean, straight line thing's definitely a bummer, but
So I can.
Yeah.
I think I could just keep running.
yeah.
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 I think you're talking about an agent with years of experience
Yeah.
versus a relatively younger agent who just is benefiting from more tech.
No. This is Colin Firth. This is the older agent who's
supposed to be a
sown
James
his oats.
Bond,
Yeah.
like, archetype.
So their experience is the same, if anything, because Craig's the younger one. Craig has less experience,
Right.
and also running
all right.
away in the straight line is you're not going to do anything to beat me. So him running really fast is not going to do anything.
But you're not going to land
that-
anything.
It's going to stop Harry.
Bob,
Who in this whole fight is named Craig?
oh, the actor.
I'm thinking James Bond is
Fair
James,
enough.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He's like, don't throw
Yeah.
some other thing at me.
James Bond, especially if it's Casino Royale, because that's his first adventure.
I'm gonna give this move to Harry Harryhausen. I
Okay.
mean Harry Hart. Is the old bionic stiff arm.
Okay.
As Bond is making his 200-mile run, I think he might be decapitated, and my bionic arm might come off. But I got a feeling if Harry can pull off that move,
You said if. Though.
Yeah.
if I don't know, we have to
don't know.
decide if that's a thing
But
he can
Daniel
pull
Craig's
off.
got those
don't know.
moves. Since we're dealing with Daniel Craig or whoever, you can slide, you can jump away
Duck.
from that fucking arm.
Yeah, yeah.
It's. I don't. I
Bond's
think I'll
old-
be always a step ahead.
200
Yeah,
miles.
I think James Bond is he's the king of smooth. He's always one step ahead.
200 miles an hour.
So
I
and
would
now he's doing it at 200 miles an hour. I think he wins.
I would say Harry has better tech. He's got those umbrellas. He's got those what do you call them? Cigarette lighter grenades
He's got
and
a
everything
really-
else.
He's
I
not going to
think
be able to use them at the same time.
Yeah.
He's using his bionic power.
Watch
so.
lasers, bullet lipsticks, all sorts of
I
crazy.
kind
James
of
Bond
think of
tech.
Harry as a sneakier fighter too.
yeah.
I don't know. I think Bond's a little bit more like, he's rough and tumble and shit. But for some reason, I think Harry would probably fight a little dirtier, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think the Casino Royale Bond is burlier and
Yeah,
and
he'll do
he's-
anything to survive and live,
he's-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this
yeah.
was hand to hand, I think he'd have the wedge. But with the bionic powers, and again, even if he's running, eventually he's going to have to slow down to engage Harry at some point. So I think
All right, what's your vote?
my vote is Harry.
Your vote's Harry.
I'm voting for Bond.
You're voting for Bond.
I think
Bond.
I
You're
think at
Bond.
200 miles an hour, he just sticks his arms out as he's running, and there he goes.
And can dodge a lot of that shit. And I don't think he'd be able to use all those attributes at the same time either.
I think just Bond just is going to be one step ahead.
Man, it's a tough call for me. It's a tough call for me. I feel like that limitation of running straight is so fucking rough.
But there's also James Bond doing his thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's not just that.
But
Yeah.
I think Harry Hart pretty much does the same thing.
But 200 miles an hour straight. Like, how far do you run, turn, then run again?
Yeah,
It's a lot of right angle run.
In like a
200
minute, you're 4
slide.
miles away.
But what if it's a lot of right angle 200-mile running?
Precisely.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of catching
So-
up to do. That was initially my.
What did he say?
the start? If by the time I just go,
Yeah.
he's not going to catch me at that point. You know what I
Right.
mean? With that leap.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he'll
It's like
stay in one
action-
place and
boom.
force you to come to him
How?
and just
How are you
hold
gonna
out
force
the.
him?
Ed, how?
How you gonna force him though? Force.
How?
The
Now
force.
it's my turn to get it. How? How is he going to start with what?
Because no matter how far you run, you can't win until you face me.
That's not
until
true.
you face
How-
Harry.
Where is that? That's not true.
Well,
then.
I mean, you do have to have it's a head-to-head death match.
It's a head-to-head death match.
Right, but I'm still ahead of.
Yeah, but
I mean, you could say-
James Bond could just be saying, "Dude, you can't catch me. I win."
You know what James Bond
Yeah,
can do? You know
no.
what James? Dude, that's a James Bond move. That is a James Bond move. But you know what? I say this. I say James Bond runs around the world at 200 miles an hour, and then when Harry's not expecting it because it took so long, he comes up from behind him and fucking takes him out. And that's it. And I think that's it. I don't know, but that's my move. I'm gonna give it to.
You
Bond.
realize we're gonna have this exact same fight in the next round. I
Well,
want you to know.
probably not.
I want you to know that.
Probably
I want
not.
you to know that.
I think we've established some
I
parameters.
wholeheartedly believe that the speed outweighs his bionics because he's slick.
Yeah, that's
He's
what I
not
mean.
slick, and you got to give him that.
And I feel like the Bionics doesn't add enough reaction time.
right.
Like he's just Bionic. Like Bionic is really fast, but I feel like the 200 miles an hour.
yeah,
basic
and
flash
I think
speed.
he just surrounds himself with umbrellas, and it's gonna deflect off whatever speed attack, and that's gonna give him the moment to
if
use
he's
the
got
bionics.
if he's got any, he's got one. I mean, let's be fair.
Right.
If he's one dude, he's got one umbrella. I mean, but
Yeah, where'd the other umbrellas?
I don't know. I don't know. All right. Look at it like this. I'm giving it to Hart, and
Oh,
wait,
okay,
no,
okay,
Bond.
all right.
No, Bond. I was giving it to Bond. And that's 3. And even with Palmer backing you up in the chat in the dock here, it's still going to Bond.
All right.
Still going to Bond. As much as I would rather not have him in the next round, Ed, because this might go some left again. All right. Ethan Hunt.
All right.
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
So Jay, you got to hold on to those 2 cards. You have 2 characters. You
Just to
gotta
keep
handle.
us track. Palmer is kind of keeping track, I think, of
Yes, he is.
placement. Is he adding the abilities in too?
Yes, he is.
Oh shit. Okay, so I can keep track down there. All right. So this card, Bob's gonna pull for Ethan Hunt.
I've already taken. You've given me everyone every round so far.
Oh,
You
that's
keep
true.
switching
That's
it
true.
up.
I'm overdue for one. I'm overdue. All right. And I have for Lorraine from Atomic Blonde.
All right.
Bob.
Yeah.
What new skill does Ethan Hunt have that he probably doesn't really need?
He throws ninja stars.
Oh,
All
All
right.
right. Well, Atomic Blonde, she's got an invisible jet.
Ooh.
Dude, I think she stole that. Look and see if it's been hot wired.
wow.
Yeah, I think she might have swiped that. You think?
Yeah.
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 But then again, it's invisible. So if someone does steal your invisible jet, good luck finding it.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you got the low jack. I don't know if Ethan Hunt's good with ninja stars, but
Yeah.
is he good enough to hit an invisible jet? You know, I know he would hang on the side of it if
Yes.
he could.
Yes, he would.
if,
yes, he would.
if you give him a chance.
Well, I think you could actually like see that little red light from the low jack blinking.
Oh, okay, and that's enough to, or just see her floating by, right? Because that was the old Wonder Woman thing in the cartoon.
Yeah, really. She was just sitting
sitting
there
in a seated position.
And
Floating.
you always wonder if she's flying all that distance. That takes hours sometimes. That's like going from Washington D.C. out to like California.
Although,
Where's she go to the bathroom?
yeah. Although
Yeah, she doesn't.
she's
Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, she's a straight up fighter.
Yeah.
So you don't even know. I mean, she may have a jet, but who says she can fly it?
Well, that's true. That's fair. She's pretty much basically a classic spy. If anybody could fly a jet, it would be Ethan before her. You would presume anyway.
Yeah.
If you know the characters well enough. Yeah, I mean, she might crash it, but if she's gonna crash it, she's gonna crash it into him. You know, she's gonna try use that as her weapon, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think he can use those throwing stars to open up the fuel lines, and then
If you can see him,
yeah.
if you can get him, if you can hit him, you know.
Yeah. All right. So it's Lorraine on this one.
All right, I'm just saying, like, who thought that would happen? But like, your ninja stars versus a moving invisible target.
Yeah.
If you can see where she's sitting, you kind of know where the gas tank is. If
You know, and how many? It's fair enough. How many does he have? How many ninja stars was it?
It just says throws ninja stars.
So he's got.
If we got to assume anything, we have to
lot.
assume unlimited.
We'll give him like, was that ninja video game where it was just like you had unlimited?
Yeah.
Like, just ching ching
Yeah,
ching.
kung fu.
Full
point.
Or maybe it was just ninja or something like that. But all right,
Shinobi.
is that it for that round?
Yeah.
How do people think about that?
I'm voting Ethan Hunt on this.
It's looking like Ethan Hunt for you.
I'm voting Lorraine Browden.
I'm kind of going the rain too. I feel
I'm
like it's
thinking
going
if
to be.
she's staying in the jet, then he's got problems.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's Ethan Hunt. He can get in anywhere, so he
Plus-
could probably get into the
Plus,
jet.
I think hand-to-hand combat, even there, she's got him beat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see the movie, and I know she's really fucking fierce and good in the movie.
Yeah.
But he's pretty fucking badass, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Like,
not
I
an
feel like
easy
it's...
win.
No, for either
No,
of
for
them.
either
he
of them,
repelled
no.
up the side of that giant fucking building in Dubai.
And I'll tell you this much. It's in a staircase.
And
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
got
yeah.
stars.
And,
He's got ninja stars.
you know what it is? He's in the plane.
Yeah.
He's snuck
does-
on the plane, on the invisible jet. He's in there with his ninja stars.
Yeah. And he is someone who does come with a little bit of tech.
Yeah, he's usually got some kind of gadget or some kind of thing up his sleeve.
And it's
But
not far-fetched because he does get into planes and hangs off of them. And
Yeah.
notices that.
Yeah.
I give this to Hunt, man.
yeah, they're pretty equals.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've lost every fucking one so far.
And he's got stars. He can just throw a bunch into her and that's it.
Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, he don't even have to get close.
Exactly.
You guys turned me
Like
around.
you guys don't understand. No, you're dead fucking wrong. There's no way she beats him in a street fight. Like she takes on about 6 other guys and just no. She
full of
probably
shit.
takes on
You're
about
full
2.
of
listen,
shit.
She
Get
beats
out of
about
here.
2 dozen guys and keeps going.
If they were
she
in a s-
keeps fucking going.
if they're in a stairwell, I'll give it to her. But if they're out,
No.
but
She's
if they're out in an open field,
no. This thing is all about close quarters.
No,
and
I
if
know.
you're in if you're in a jet plane, if he gets on there, it's over. She wins. She just fucking destroys him.
I don't
Well,
know. I
there's-
don't know,
I don't
'cause
agree with
if
that at all.
if you talk about an invisible plane, you're gonna fight like you're not in a plane.
it's gonna be throwing you off constantly. And then if she's fighting and it's like a visible woman's jet,
Yeah.
it's a 1-seat pilot thing. I don't know who's flying it while they're fighting. So you know it's doing that whole barrel roll thing as they're going
Yeah.
for high drama.
Yeah, yeah.
And he can handle that because we've seen him.
She's not invisible. He has stars. It's over, Ed. You are done. You are wrong.
No,
If,
no,
if,
but
if he gets on it, yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
they'll be hanging out of her the whole time. She will
No,
take her
it doesn't-
bare fists. And
oh, wait a
beat
minute.
His fucking
But wait a
skull
minute.
in.
It's an invisible plane.
Yeah.
If there's a cockpit door, he won't know there's a cockpit door. And so he'll throw star
Yeah.
after star trying to figure out why this isn't working.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, oh, shit, the cockpit door. Walk over, open it up. I'm out of stars. Okay, now we fight.
But how do you know he's out of stars?
I don't. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
we already established he's got
Oh,
an
he's got
unlimited
like
supply.
an
Yeah,
unlimited supply.
but
Fair enough.
close quarters. She, again, he won't get a chance to get to his stars because she'll beat the shit out of him
What if
before
She'll be
that.
choking him
throws
out with a
from
scarf?
afar? It's not an easy win here,
Yeah,
especially
but
not
It's
the
another
fight
number.
you're making.
No,
it.
she doesn't stop, man. They will be hanging out of her fucking arms, and she'll be bleeding out, and she will still pummel him into the fucking ground.
I don't agree with that at all, actually. As much as she's kick-ass, I believe that if there's stars in her, and he keeps throwing them and throwing them from
Yeah,
afar, he's got the jump.
but
No, I'm sorry.
He's
man.
a pretty boy. He's not. He's,
a
she's a
he's
pretty
the
girl.
long. He's
And
the
she's a
long
pretty
game
girl.
guy.
He's a-
He climbs outside and does.
I'd
does
bang
fun
both of
stuff.
them.
He's a
Is that what we're talking
he's
about?
a pretty boy who's hung off the side of a flying jet plane, who's climbed the side of the world's tallest building.
He's tenacious, I think is the word.
But he never fights man to man.
So-
You know,
which
all,
is, which
all
is
of those
why
things.
he's got the ninja stars.
What was that?
He's fighting woman to man
He-
with stars.
He has the
Yeah.
big
With
punch at the end.
Unlimited weapon. He's got an unlimited weapon.
She's got a fucking invisible jet. They ain't doing shit. All right, and he's got stars that he's gonna
Honestly,
throw
for
into
me,
her.
the moment you said an invisible jet, I figured, A, she stole it, so they're on the ground fighting, and the cop is coming over to the side and giving her a ticket. or getting it towed while they're fighting.
It's invisible. He doesn't know it's there. The cops don't
No,
know.
I'm telling you.
The cops don't know I'm double
low
parked.
jack. The low jack.
Oh, the low
No,
jack.
but
right,
that
right.
that's a trap. If he
That's a
gets
trap.
if he gets inside the plane
Yeah.
and takes her on, it's over. She wins.
She wins close quarters. You're saying he wins close
Maybe
quarters.
he don't go in. Maybe he blows it up
weapons,
because he's
sure.
Ethan Weapon. He blows shit up.
Yeah, yeah.
No. What I'm saying is, like, if it gets close, he won't be able to get to his weapons because she
It's
will.
kind of like magic,
That's
though.
how do you?
Bill,
figure
I
that?
just need you to make a
How
choice.
do you?
He's
No,
a-
Ed, seriously, how do you figure he's not going to be able
He's-
to get a few off?
Yeah, and what
from
I'm saying
afar?
is she's resilient enough that she will just take
Not
them
if
and
she's flying a
like
plane.
jam them into his
And
chest.
he's got paramilitary
Not if she's
experience
flying a
as
plane.
well. He knows how to do close quarters fighting.
Yes, he does. You're undermining
You're not-
and
ability.
she's from the 60s.
No, she's from the 80s.
That's a long time ago, too.
And she's flying a plane, no less.
So
from the 60s.
She could put it on autopilot.
That's
Yeah,
the
but he'll
plainest
be
from the
9
'70s,
stars in
actually.
her by that time. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that makes 3.
Sexist pig.
Sexist.
And
Sexist.
I'll be fair and say that I actually haven't seen her movie,
right.
but
So then you should both shut the fuck up.
How is this fair at all?
so
Palmer's
emotional.
with me.
No, I made my stance on it.
Yeah.
You know, I
Moving right along.
And I'm not really a fan of Ethan Hunt or Mission Impossible either, but I just, I just think that character.
it's the case. It's
I know
the
that
case.
much about the character that it's like, he's got to be able to.
All right, so now we are moving into the next one here.
Yep.
All right, so we did our first of the spies. Now we're gonna go over back to our Action Jackson type. But we don't have. Oh, we could have put Action Jackson in there. I didn't even think of that.
That's next year.
So we've got
Yeah, got to give him some credit next year.
How do you like your ribs?
Show him some love.
in the next one here. We've got Colonel James Braddock. Chuck Norris's character from the Michigan. The Michigan? No.
Missing in
Missing in
action.
action.
Missing in
Thank,
action.
thank you.
1, 2, 3.
3.
4?
3, 3, 3.
Just
Just
3?
three?
There's only 3.
I've seen all 3.
Up against John Matrix, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. And I think at this point,
Well, going in,
that's not the one I just had.
yeah,
is
it
it?
was.
I did.
He's got an invisible jet.
got an invisible jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sound like hotcakes. All right, so invisible jet. All right, take that one then. Maybe that's a card that we
Have-
haven't
have
played.
Bob
yet.
take this one.
All right, have Bob take this one.
Which
Bob
one
put
am
his
I?
glasses
So
down.
you are first draw is the top one. So you're James Braddock,
Okay.
Chuck Norris's character in Mission. I did it again. Missing in action.
Just call him Braddock.
Braddock, you're Braddock. What do you got there? What's Braddock got?
He's got a rocket launcher.
Okay, but what does he have now? But what did you get that's new?
He's orange.
All right.
He's got another one.
It's not a problem. I am armed with a shrink ray.
Oh no!
Yeah,
For those of
a
you,
shrink ray.
for those of needing a translator, Extra Arnold said that was a shrink ray he got.
A rocket launcher against a shrink ray.
Yeah,
Well, technically, I have 2 now. Because Braddock.
I think he got a shrink. I think he got the rocket launcher and like
And remember, he is
some like
smaller than
M16
me.
or something. He's got to have like some kind of rifle of some kind.
Well, he's
right?
got everything.
See,
I mean,
I almost want to sit this one out because I haven't seen either of these movies.
that
so I
hasn't
don't
stopped
know.
us, Ed. Ed, that hasn't stopped any of us.
I don't really have context for this.
I don't really either, but that's fine. I think
Just
you
go
get
with
it.
your gut.
You got homework to do, man. How do you not see Commando?
See that.
Or missing in action.
Or missing in action. Yeah.
But as much as I think James Braddock, by the fact of that he saved more people in his career than
All right, well-
Commando.
Well, here's the thing.
Commando only saved Alyssa Milano, and that's as much as we all love Alyssa Milano.
Well, listen, I'm
Oh,
gonna.
so based on the amount of people that he saves
Yeah.
in the movie.
Maybe that's the thing.
All I know is this:
Yeah.
Colonel John Matrix
Yes.
took out all of a fucking continent of terrorists.
Oh, these guys are the same rank.
by himself.
You're fighting for me. You know that, right?
I am making it because I honestly, all I got is rocket launchers. He's got a shrink ray.
Right.
I
know
am
what I
making
mean?
a small man
Not
smaller
only does he
already.
have a shrink ray
Right.
and just stomp on my ass,
Yep.
he's Colonel John Matrix.
Okay. Yeah.
know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah.
He had buddies have to go and rescue his POW camp. He did it on his own.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm actually going against myself. And
Well,
I'm
yeah.
saying
I mean, it's
that
not really particularly like your card, but it's just
No.
like you're drawing the
I'm
thing.
drawing
You're
the
leading
thing.
the conversation a little
my
bit. But
rocket launchers ain't going to do shit against
No.
something that gets shrink, and it's John Matrix. I give it to Matrix.
well, it's hard to argue with that. I think any guy who does curls with a tree,
Yeah, much like Charlie Sheen, I am winning.
I think mostly to put an end to Bob's Arnold impression, we'll just say, yeah. What was it?
The thing
John
is
Matrix.
that I'm actually trying to be realistic about
No,
all of these.
I think you are. No, absolutely. We all are to a degree.
Yeah.
Outside of invisible jets and shit. But it's definitely a thing where I think, it seems like I would lean the same way. I would lean the same way, John Matrix, on this one. Ed, what are you thinking? At least based on these skills or something that they've gotten.
I mean, to me, the shrink ray. Even with that, I think I think that the rocket launcher is going to be more dangerous. So I'm going to go with Braddock on this one.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. 2 for Matrix. You said
I'm Arnold, dude.
you're Arnold. You're always Arnold. What are you, just voting against the tide?
God damn it.
Jesus Christ! All right, and even in the chat, even in Palmer, we had the tiebreaker as Matrix. So that one's that. Moving it along because we were kind of taking a little too long.
Wasn't my fault.
No. We got caught up in some shit. We got caught up in a storm. But those are fun. Sometimes those are fun. We all sound like horse now.
I'm
but-
actually trying to be realistic about each scenario. So
No,
it's
no.
not like I'm voting against anyone.
No. I know.
I just don't believe his case.
on that particular. Yeah. So this one should be good then.
No disrespect, right?
No,
No,
Yeah.
I'm being as honest as I can be.
Let's jump over to this other bracket here.
I have 3 winners in front of me, by the way.
Oh, okay. Let's jump over to this bracket here. Enter the Dragon.
Oh, we didn't finish this one yet.
All right, we'll finish out this
yeah.
one. Okay. So let's do this then. The second one in the gun toting action guys. John, we did John Matrix. We're gonna do John Rambo versus John Wick.
Ooh.
You guys.
Yeah. So
All right.
so I'm gonna take this card here off the top, and you take
So if
that
I
one.
didn't win the last one, I put it here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if we really need the cards now that because Palmer's actually keeping pretty good track
Oh,
of it.
okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
He's got the power sets.
So John Rambo, what's he got, Bill?
Now we are into round 2 now, right?
No, we didn't do round one.
Oh no, this is round 1 for these guys. Okay. Oof, we got a lot of work to do. Okay, so I can match my opponent's size.
Okay.
So I guess if I'm leaner than you, because you're not much taller,
Mm-hmm.
if you thought John Wick / Keanu was a leaner in comparison to Stallone, I guess maybe I bulk up because
Are you Wick or Rambo?
You're Rambo.
I'm Rambo rather. Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay, fair enough. All right, I drew first. Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I drew first blood.
Yeah.
Of course.
Exactly.
What was your skills?
Mine is John Wick has a skunk on a stick.
So far, I think you're winning.
No, because John Rambo would cook it and eat it.
That's true.
Well, that's the thing. He puts the skunk on the stick, hides it someplace, and uses it as bait. And then
Maybe
and then-
that's the trap,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
leave it out in the middle of the woods. He's hiding in the woods.
That way he can get close quarters with him, so that
Yeah, but
so
John
that
Rambo would
Rambo's
know it's a
guns
trap.
won't matter.
John Rambo's too smart for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he would know it's a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a skunk first of all.
He's trained to like survive in the woods in Vietnam.
Yeah, but he's hungry.
He would have
Really hungry
He
though.
would have somehow killed John Wick already before he knew that was a trap. Like John Wick would be sitting there and he'd be dead somehow.
He would have sniffed out.
He would already be dead.
He would have sniffed out the trap and just traced it back
Yeah.
to John Wick and
That's
snuck
it.
and just dropped down from a tree and.
Or while John Wick was setting the trap,
Because John Rambo,
like John Wick thinks it's all
He'd
good.
be lying in wait, waiting for it, you know. And
John Rambo knows how to be a silent killer.
Turns out Rambo was the skunk. Just fucking stabs him. Comes
John-
out from under the tail.
John Rambo knows the perimeter of where he's fighting. He knows how to be silent. He knows how to be a ghost.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Believe me, he can be like right under him. You know what I mean?
I mean, I saw that one where you thought it was just mud, and then he opened his eyes.
oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, but John Wick's determined. He just wants to be out of this life. And if getting out of this life means he has to take out John Rambo, he's not going to stop
To be fair-
until that happens.
there is one question we got to know: does Rambo fuck with his dog?
I wouldn't think so.
If Rambo,
I don't
fucked-
think Rambo's that kind
No.
of guy.
If
John's
Rambo-
not that kind of guy.
If Rambo fucked with his dog,
Oh yeah.
then all bets are off.
Oh yeah.
In the same breath, John Rambo's also determined.
Yeah, they're both pretty relentless. And I don't think it takes as much to put Rambo on a mission though. Like Rambo pretty much is like, we need you to go down there, John, and do something for us. All right, I'll do it. Meanwhile, Wick's like, yeah, I'll take jobs and shit. Oh shit, you killed my fucking dog? Oh, I'm motivated for life now. Rambo's like, okay, we just need you to do something. He's like, I'm a machine. I'm going to kill. Like, So I think Rambo might be bringing a different level of intensity to this particular.
He knows how to do it quiet and stealth like.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that's an edge right there. It's just as these two as fighters go, is that as lunky as he is, as lunk-headed as you might think Rambo is, he's all about that stealth shit. You know,
that's
he's
why
a real commando.
That's why he's John Rambo. Because
Well, I mean,
special forces.
I think his mother named him that first,
Well, you know what I mean.
and
Yeah.
then right,
Rambo. For
then it
me.
became a noun.
Final answer.
Final answer, John Rambo.
Yeah.
You see, John Wick just kills people with the way he breathes, man. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's intensity. I just noticed all of you guys
Yeah.
have no imagine. You're all going with the classics. You don't have any idea that everyone we've picked so far, and I'm 3-1 in everything except
Doesn't
Dirty Harry
matter.
versus
We're
Bad
making- we're
Boys.
making a
You
case.
pick the older character.
We're making a case, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I
you're
mean, so far. I mean, that is how it's turning out. You know, but I got like Jay saying, I feel like we're making fair cases for it.
Look, I have a hard time going against John Wick. John Wick is a badass in every sense.
Yeah.
So do
Yeah.
I.
But when you're thinking about like John Rambo, it's like when you get a dog onto something. They single-minded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost a Terminator level of determination to get the job done. And you're talking about a guy who's much like John Wick, not going to stop because he's been hurt.
I just think the skill sets are different. I just think the skill sets are really different. And
But I think
The
this is
survivalist mentality that
Yeah.
John Rambo comes along with is
yeah. But I think this is a closer fight than you guys are making it out to be.
no,
I don't.
No, we don't overlook that. I don't
Yeah.
think we overlooked that for a second. I think if anything, it comes down to sheer fucking strength. Maybe even in the end, physical strength.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Who could endure more? All I know is that you know John Rambo fixes his own wounds with fucking gunpowder and lights it on fire. I mean, I don't know when Wick did that, but that's what Rambo does when he's bored in a cave.
Yeah.
And what was your what did you have as your
He has a skunk on a stick.
skunk on a stick?
Which
yeah,
Rambo would have ate.
which Rambo would like
yeah, what was Rambo's again?
he can match opponent's size, so that's not really a factor in this particular fight.
And when he wouldn't.
And
do it
if
anyway.
I mean, obviously, we haven't discussed whether or not they have any weapons at all.
Yeah.
But if that's the only weapon in here, he might just take it out of your hand, John Wick's hand, and stab him with it, and then put the skunk on like a hat,
Or eat it.
or eat the inside.
Well, that's what I'm
and then wear
saying.
the
Like
fur.
distracts him, and while he's eating it, John Wick comes around him and cracks his neck.
But to be fair, John Rambo would have sensed that already.
He's basically like Batman of the woods.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat him.
That's kind of it.
It's kind of like, right? He's Batman of the woods.
Like he knows what they're going to do before they do.
Yeah. He's like one step ahead. He's like, he's a real strategist,
Right.
battle strategist. I feel like he brings a different kind of skill set.
You're talking about an army ranger trained to kill, trained to survive in any situation, no matter what. get the job done.
If we had seen more versatility out of the character John Wick in those movies, like don't get me wrong, like he's badass as fuck, but it's a lot of modern day
Gunplay.
close quarters gunplay, kung fu, and storming and breaching rooms and doors.
Yeah.
Which
Well, and I think all of that, he has that same planning sense, and he does all of it on the fly because someone pissed him off.
you know what we could probably look into, like setting parameters for these things for like part 3 that might
Yeah.
make something like this a different situation. Like if we said certain things about where they're meeting up,
Yeah.
that might change some of these fights a little bit.
And I'm saying John Wick would have walked into John Rambo's world and not gotten far. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
You know what I mean? If he's
I feel
doing all
like-
that close quarter, open door shit, he's going to walk into John Rambo's perimeter and
Yeah.
get fucked up somehow.
I do feel like this is probably one of those scenarios that, because of this particular matchup, would shift to either side depending on where it went down. If this went down in the woods, like I'm gonna easily give it to Rambo, because they're gonna get split up. It's gonna be this chase cat mouse thing, and if they're gonna be indoors, like in some tight quarters, fucking like inside buildings and shit. I'm not saying the Wick's gonna take it, but it's gonna be a lot closer than
Rambo
it
got
would
out
be.
of the police station with no.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm aware.
You're
I
talking
thought
about
about
an
it
Army
too.
Ranger, though. You got to remember.
Yeah, even
Look,
then.
We're talking about
John
Army.
Wick's character
We're
is.
talking about Army. You see Army training. They go. They
John
breathe
Wick's character's
indoors all
got
the
stuff
time.
like that too in his background.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just Army training. He was a Special Forces.
Yeah.
guy
Special
that they
Forces, yes.
specially trained to really fuck
Extra
things
stuff.
up. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm saying John Wick.
John Wick for you,
Rambo.
I gotta go Rambo.
Rambo. You're right. There's a pattern forming. Let's hope that we break it and we
Yeah.
can avoid the stereotype in the future. But for that round, it's Rambo.
All right.
All right. So now we are gonna jump over to the other column. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Where we've got Bruce Lee, because that boy can throw down. You know.
Well, no, it's Lee.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Just Lee from the movie Enter the Dragon.
Yes.
Portrayed by Bruce Lee.
Yes.
And then up against Jason Bourne, who, you know, if you give that guy a magazine,
Can I say something?
he'll turn it in. He'll roll it up into a stick.
This is
No. Can I say something? Bruce Lee's the same character in every movie, so it doesn't matter what the fuck it is.
right. Well, that's why
So I
his
just
name.
want to get it out right
Yeah,
now.
well, that's why his name is only Lee in this
Yeah.
movie. He didn't bother. He's just like, all right, I don't want to call him Bruce. We'll just go Lee.
Before there's a thing, he's the same guy in every fucking
Yeah.
movie.
This is Steve. So,
But that's all he has to be.
It's all he has to be.
fair enough.
He's Bruce Lee.
I think we give this one to you.
He's
Yes.
Bruce fucking Lee.
Ed, have you pulled one in a while?
All right.
All right. So,
Against who?
Jason Bourne. Ed's Jason Bourne. Well, Ed's card is for Jason Bourne.
With what? With what?
I'm sorry, Ed.
Well, why don't you say yours first?
Actually, yeah. First poll is how we were doing it.
Yeah, so-
What's Bruce Lee got going on?
He's in berserker rage.
Well, shit.
Oh, that
Should we just wrap this
Hang it
up?
up.
Bob's leaving.
All right.
Bob's
so,
leaving. Jay's
well,
leaving.
okay. Well, hang on. Here's the
All
thing.
right, yeah.
Jason Bourne can only move when opponent moves.
So I think,
that's not a bad day because Bruce Lee's gonna move constantly.
yeah, he's got a lot of bouncing, a lot of hot stepping kind of thing. He's doing a lot of moving.
To me, it's
Yeah.
just no brainer, hands down. It's Bruce Lee.
Yeah, it's Mr.
You
Lee
can't.
at this. I mean,
In berserker rage.
in Berserker Age.
Forget
Have
it.
you seen any Bruce Lee movies, Ed?
Yes. Yes, I have. I have seen Enter the
And,
Dragon.
yeah, and that's all you like. You know,
Yeah.
just
Jason
imagine
Bourne's-
that.
Jason Bourne's gonna get hit, and then
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, he's gonna get lit up pretty quick.
Yeah, but like when Paul Greengrass moves the camera in real close, and you just see those arms flying,
Ed,
evidently something really fast is
Ed,
happening.
you didn't pull
no,
up. You
no.
didn't. Your card didn't say Paul Greengrass on it.
Yeah.
There's no Paul Greengrass card in this deck.
You got Robert Klaus.
Did you have
Yeah.
the director stack from another game? There's directors maybe in some other game.
So yeah, I'm gonna say Bruce Lee.
Yeah, okay. All right. This one you're up with us on.
we
This
knew.
one,
We knew.
I think that's an all around. For shame, Jason Bourne. We knew you well.
Yeah.
His hands up and got up. He's like, that's it.
All right. So now we go to Brian Mills from Taken, who's a guy who loves to talk and give speeches, versus Paul Kersey from Death Wish, the original Charles Bronson.
It's you and your brother.
What was that?
It's you and your brother this time.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. In honor of our mother, being the world's biggest Charles Bronson fan that we knew growing up. So you pulled first.
Yeah, I'm gonna need another card. It says riding a blank, draw a character from the deck.
All right. So that means
Wait, no, hang on. That was the one that Bad Boys had. We already had that card. So
there might be multiples of that. There might be multiples of that.
Because your cards are all right here.
Oh wow. Well, would you want to give him something different just to
mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe. What was the setup on that half card?
Oh, you're right.
Riding a blank.
Riding a blank.
Draw a character.
Well,
from the deck.
we'll put it to the table. Do we pull another card for that?
Just give him another card.
Give him another card. Yeah.
Do something with that one. Put it over here.
All right. So let me put mine down, and then I'll give you this next card,
Okay.
whatever that is.
Okay.
Okay. So which one is it?
All
What do
right,
you got
so
there?
who am I-
Brian Mills
okay,
from
from-
Taken.
Has an invisibility cloak.
All right.
Paul Kersey is riding a war elephant.
I think this one is.
And
I haven't lost one yet.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm gonna give my answer right now.
yeah. You gonna jump right to it? What do you think? What do you think, Jay?
The fact that Charles Bronson is on an elephant,
Riding a war elephant. Hey.
riding a war elephant.
Yeah, let's get it
exactly,
right.
Precisely.
Go ahead, make my day.
Wins hands
Stay in
down.
one place. I'm trying to get you.
That's a hands down win.
For the war elephant?
Because in the middle of
But he's got an invisible cloak. How are we
yeah,
gonna
but he's
find
talking on the phone saying that he's gonna.
He's on his cell
In the
phone
middle of his
constantly.
fucking speech, he's gonna be trampled.
His phone's going off constantly.
Bronson's final answer for me.
Just because he's invisible. Liam Neeson doesn't whisper very well.
He's just gonna throw the cloak on, climb up the back of the elephant.
I have a particular set of skills.
You gotta
You
remember,
just really can't see him right
Charles
now.
Bronson is an average guy whose wife got raped. He has no particular training.
Yeah, he's just
He's
gonna
just pissed.
and he's riding a war elephant. He's just gonna stomp around the area until he
Yeah.
squishes something.
Yeah, and Neeson is in.
He's a trained assassin.
Brian Mills is just going to use all of that strength against him,
Right.
And just basically cause Kersey to just fold up into himself.
What
and-
strength though?
Yeah,
He's like 60.
Kersey
Yeah.
doesn't fold up though.
Yeah.
That's just it. He doesn't
I don't
surrender.
fold. I don't fold.
No.
I might die.
I die. I don't.
I don't give up.
You raped my wife. You bastard.
Yeah, I don't know. That invisibility cloak is pretty sneaky, but
He be in mid speech. He
yeah,
talks too much.
I feel like the phone.
He talks too much.
I feel like it's the phone.
He talks for the first couple of minutes in the movie on the
yeah.
phone.
They
It's
call
over-
back. They call back.
yeah.
They always call back.
But he
Where are you
He
now?
only has the speech once. So the first 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes of the movie.
It just, I mean, the fact that that's the only thing anyone remembers from that movie.
Well, that's the problem here.
He,
Is
he
that
does.
Yeah.
He does kick everybody else's ass
Yeah,
in
but
the
that's it.
fucking
But
movie.
I'm a fan of that movie.
Kills a
I
whole.
am.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
like
it.
that
I feel like
I-
that's the thing, though. The speech gets him because he has to give the speech. So it doesn't matter if the cloak is on. If you're running around, you're still going. I have a particular set of skills, and I really like this.
But
As he's
you're
zipping
talking about
around.
Charles Bronson as a fucking math teacher on a fucking elephant.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a good driver.
He's not like he's
With-
ever done anything. He's,
with
it's-
the-
he's just
yeah.
an average person.
He does pull his gun out and shoot right away.
Yeah,
He's just
and
popping
but
shots.
I think with that invisibility cloak, he'll just be able to climb on top of that elephant and snap his neck.
That's
you know
what I'm
what?
thinking.
You know what? He's got a gun too all the time. Liam Neeson's
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
He could just pop off 3 or 4 shots.
He's a professional assassin that now has an invisibility cloak.
Yeah,
That's a fucking world class video game, if you ask me.
yeah.
That's the reason run around that town is do a whole sorts of bloodletting.
I feel like I'm coming around on that cloak.
I'm voting Brian Mills.
I think I'm coming around that cloak. I don't
Right.
know. Unless someone can find another point out
And
of
if he's
it.
got a mouse in his pocket, it's all over.
I just think he doesn't talk though.
Who? Oh,
Paul
Mills?
Kersey.
Oh, no.
He just blows holes.
He's just
in
always
people's
listening.
heads.
I'm always listening.
And he's
Hey,
on a
cocksucker,
war
come here.
outfit.
And you know he hates people on cell phones. You just know he
Yeah.
hates people on cell phones.
And you can't drive a
What's cell
war.
phone?
What's a cell phone?
You can't drive a war elephant and hold a gun at the same time.
I mean, you can. You just can't aim well. And
know.
I don't think he's driving that
no,
very
because
well.
then the steering's just gonna go. The whole thing's gonna go left.
I don't know. This
Don't
Charles
shoot it
Bronson
near
we're
his
talking
ear.
about.
What was that?
I don't know. This is Charles
if
Bronson.
you're on a
we're
water
talking about.
elephant, the only gun you're using is an elephant gun. And you ever see those Indian elephant guns?
Oh, they're
Those
huge.
things are huge.
It's
They
a
got the
cannon.
big horn on the front.
All right.
They're not
So,
very accurate.
all right. So I know. I think I made a turnaround. Let's put it to the vote. Jay.
This is one of those where you have to go back and
Whatever it takes.
whatever. But I'm gonna go with Bronson on an elephant. That's me.
Bronson on a war elephant.
Brian Mills from Taken.
I'm going with Taken.
I'm going with Taken as well.
All right.
All right. Just
Oh my God.
that invisibility
You won
cloak.
one, Ed.
All right. And
It
now.
was a fairly modern one.
All right, now here we go, folks. We go now into the second phase, which means that we carry over the original card, plus pick a new card
Okay. So
for round 2 for this second round. These second heads
so
ups.
we're in the Elite Eight.
So we're the Elite 8, and we're gonna start back at the beginning, and now we're back to McLean.
With the cone around his neck that
With-
they use for dogs.
Right. Versus a 6-inch tall Dirty Harry. Now, I think
Right.
you had picked first, Jay, during that. So this is going to be McLean's other plus or minus.
And Dirty Harry.
And that's going to be yours.
Well, I'm Dirty Harry.
Okay.
Oh, you had Dirty Harry. Fair enough.
Right,
It's
I'm
all
still
off the
winning,
top.
so-
Picking really doesn't care. All right, so
Okay.
John McLean, what do we got? You got the cone on your neck, and
I just drank 5 energy drinks.
that's going to help.
This is gonna get interesting
Okay.
because
6-inch
none of-
tall.
6-inch tall Dirty Harry thinks the floor is actually lava.
Oh, boy.
Oh, so he's distracted.
Oh, man.
He's distracted and he's wide out of his mind, so
Yeah.
he might just actually start believing that
Shit.
shit too.
6 Red Bulls?
Few.
A few. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna hurt you much. I think you just gotta keep an eye on Harry.
No, I mean, as much as I love Dirty Harry, if he's 6 inches tall and he thinks he's on lava, he's distracted.
Now,
And
oh, keep going.
Ed?
Keep going.
Ed,
I will say finished, and then you can have it.
Okay.
I think that on 5 energy drinks or whatever he had, he's just gonna go home and just smack the shit out of Harry, splat. Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Harry's distracted, and that's my final answer. I say McLean.
McLean.
Yeah,
That's a vote for McLean.
that's a vote for McLean.
Now, the thing to remember is
And that was hard for me.
that cone takes away all of his peripheral vision.
I was thinking
so,
about
so
that.
he can only see. He's wired up, but he can only see in one direction. So if Dirty Harry can kind of like jump onto the counter, and
Well, I was thinking
attack
about it.
him
Like,
from the
if he's in
side.
a certain area of the room, it might be hard to keep an eye on him because you can only see past, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a little,
I'm even thinking it might be
6-inch guy running around.
I'm actually thinking it might be hard to see the floor.
Yeah,
So
just like,
if 6-inch tall Harry here is thinking that the floor is lava, and he's bitching about it, I think Wired McLean over there has got to kind of take his word for it and just as fucking worried.
I think 6-inch Harry's gonna jump on you.
He can't see the floor.
I think
so
you're
he's like,
all
"Give me a high five
overestimating
on
the
that."
cone.
That's great. That's great.
Fair enough.
I actually think that each one of you is overestimating the peripheral vision of the cone.
Okay,
The
fair enough.
cone you can see, obviously, where's the cone, like right around here?
Right,
You
right.
can see the floor.
Fair enough.
You're
fair
gonna
enough.
look down. You're gonna see the guy. I don't buy that.
I was
No, I
thinking
know
just
because
now-
you ever see the way those cones
I
work?
have, Ed,
can't-
and I'm
you
saying
can't-
you're not.
But
It's not
the
what you
reason
think.
they have those cones on dogs is so that they don't bend over and lick themselves, so they can't bend down and look down.
right, but on a
Right,
person,
but on a person, you're also
gonna
taller.
it's gonna sit
It
different.
sits differently. Correct.
And I think he's got a point. Like, you actually would be able to see pretty much everything.
you
and
would.
anything. But I think that if 6-inch Harry thinks the floor is lava, he's gonna jump right on the leg of the only person
stable
around, because that dude's not falling into
Right.
lava somehow.
Oh, and because he's so wired up, he'll just go bam, bam, just stomp
Yeah,
on
he'll
him.
start freaking out, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
and actually, I was thinking, Harry's low. He could just start taking out knee shots. You know what I mean? Ankles, knees,
yeah.
shins.
At that angle, no matter what you say, McLean ain't gonna be able to see what's going on his knees because he's gonna that cone will stop
Yeah,
that.
because the
I
second
mean, if you're
So
that
he might
close.
think it's a bug or something like that and start freaking out.
But
Yeah,
he's
no.
distracted because the floor is lava.
yeah, well, also like
and he's an old man.
yeah,
And he's an older man.
the second McLean looks down, that cone smacks him in the face. Like that. That's the way
Not
that's gonna-
true. That's untrue. No, it's not because the cone is this way.
we
Around.
got- well, we
He's
got-
not going to smack
All right.
himself in the face.
Well, we
You
got
can
two
see.
different schools of thought, so that's gonna weigh in on.
But that's
on
inaccurate.
Your
though.
votes.
I know. I've seen the cone.
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
inaccurate. That's
Yeah, I agree.
not true.
I agree with Jay on that. But either way,
Salud.
oh my God, Bob, don't die.
All right, you
Sorry.
ready to vote?
Yeah, let's vote it up
All right,
now.
all right. Who starts?
I already said mine.
Yeah, you said,
I said McLean.
McLean. I'm gonna
Based on the attributes too.
what was it the cone and 6? Yeah, I think Harry's gonna be freaking out. All John's got to do is stomp him if he can get him. Harry's really not gonna be trying to take pop shots at him. He's just gonna be trying to find safety, and I think John McLean can find a way to take him out. 6 inches tall or not. I'm giving it to McLean as well.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. You go.
I'm going to say John McClane.
Whoa!
Yeah. So mine doesn't matter, but I was gonna say.
You gonna go with
McLean,
Harry?
too. No, I was gonna go McLean.
You were gonna go McLean. All right, it was McLean all around.
I can't look at these and figure out a way that
Yeah.
he actually wins.
Fair. That's fair enough.
So they go in the pile.
There you go. That's reasonable too. All right. So now, what was the second one we did? We did.
We got James Bond. We got Daniel Craig James Bond running 200 miles an hour in a straight line against Ethan Hunt.
who's
Hunt
got
throwing
Ninja Stars?
Yes.
I'll take since Bob is working on a thing over there.
Okay.
Me and you will take these, Ed. I pulled first.
Okay, so James Bond is running 2 miles an hour in a straight
200 miles
line,
an hour.
200 miles per hour in a straight line, armed with a tranquilizer gun.
Okay, that might. Well, I'm not gonna. Well, that might become a handful in hand.
So
Bob's doing some transvestite Vanna White thing.
and Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt has got his Ninja Stars, but he's on a velocipede, which I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to look that up. But I'm sure that it's some kind of animal or a living organism,
Isn't it a dinosaur?
probably.
It's a velociraptor. I'm sorry.
Velocipede. Velocipede. PEDE.
Type of centipede or something.
Oh, it's an early form of bicycle propelled by working pedals on cranks fitted to the front axle.
That's what Ethan Hunt has.
So I'm on like some British Mr.
Basically
Mr.
a
Bean.
bicycle with legs.
I'm on some Mr. Bean type vehicle. Thanks. All right. But I'm throwing ninja stars though.
Yeah.
So I'm still deadly. Well, Ethan is anyway. And what did you pull?
He armed with a tranquilizer gun.
Oh, okay.
See, but here's the thing. It's Mission Impossible. So if anyone's going to be able to get out of an impossible situation like that with such little, it's going to be Ethan Hunt.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what he's going to do with the bicycle. How that, like, if he can't really hang on the side of it.
Well, Mission Impossible is just the name of the show. It's,
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
because what he's gonna start going.
Yeah.
And then once James Bond comes close to him, he'll pop that wheelie and just boom, that pedal goes right in his face.
not
that
if he
wheel
get,
going.
not if somebody pops off a tranquilizer
Wait,
gun.
he's got Ethan Hunt now, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you need that too, right?
Oh, yes.
So, but here's what I'm thinking: that if these two, like, I'm picturing like a very high tension scene that could go to either one of these guys' adventures, right? It's downhill. They're both on the bike. Ethan Hunt was trying to pedal it. Bond is on the front. They're fighting while it's going down the hill. Like, you know, they're trying to keep balance at the same time. Whoa, leaning a little too hard to the left, to the right. And then they both go off into the gulch. Like right down into the valley or something.
Yeah.
Right off the edge.
Yeah, and because all Ethan Hunt does is hang from ceilings and rocks, he's gonna be able to come out.
You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point.
However, James Bond can outrun the stars. That's
But-
one thing. And
but-
he's got a tranquilizer gun.
Oh, that's true.
But he can only go in a straight line. So if he's riding that bicycle in a serpentine fashion,
But
But
he's,
if he's running at 200 miles an hour,
yeah, he's not going to get him regardless.
he can aim straight because he can only run straight.
Right.
200 miles an hour Bond with a tranquilizer gun. You know, and he might just be able to zoom past, get a shot in my neck.
Yeah.
You know, in Ethan's neck, and take out Ethan. I mean, if we're just being fair about it.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking that's what happens.
Yeah,
I think
me
it's
too.
Bond.
Me too.
also but see, Daniel Craig's Bond self-medicates. Like
He smokes weed?
No, he goes to the booze like it's no man. But like I
That's not
always,
medication.
yeah, I always kind of felt.
So you think he's coming to the job inebriated?
Well, I think he's the Bond that would be closest to being a drug user. So he may try out that tranquilizer on himself just for kicks.
Now
It's
you're
only
now
half
you're writing a
strength.
plot- Now you're writing a plot for a really bad James
Exactly.
Bond
Yeah,
movie.
exactly.
You're writing the next one. You're writing the next James Bond. That's your pitch. That's your treatment.
Well, I mean, Danny Boyle's directed it.
So you never know, buddy. There's going to be some funny nicknames in this one. All right. So with that, I think we'll put it to the votes if we haven't already. I think Bob said Bond.
Yeah, James Bond.
Jay said Bond.
Bond,
I'm
yeah.
going to go Bond, too. I'm just going to give it to him.
I'm gonna go Bond.
All right. It's unanimous. It's a Bond or nothing.
Fuck.
There you go. There you go.
I was really hoping he'd lose.
Time check is 9:22. We got to speed it up. All right. All right. So with that, we are now into the next one here, which is which one do we jump to? We jump down to
John makes us with the Sheik Ray versus John Rambo, who
shit.
matches the opponent's size.
This is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. So this is Commando versus Rambo. And you know what? I'll give this one to Bob, Jay and Bob this time. All right, Jay, you had the first draw. That's going to be for John Matrix for the Commando. He's already got a shrink ray. And what now?
He's 10 stories tall.
You're all fucked.
Who am I again?
You're Rambo with you can match your opponent's size.
so
All right.
John Rambo's also
So
10 stories
so-
tall.
Oh shit! It's
And
Battle
now-
of the Giants.
And now he throws antiques.
But they're normal sized,
But I can,
right? I mean,
I
they have
don't
to be
know.
normal sized.
but I can shrink him back down to his
You got the
size.
shrink ray.
I got the shrink
Yeah.
ray.
So you get to be 10 feet tall for like a minute.
And then he shrinks me, then I grow right back because I get to be. I got to be.
He's gonna
just-
match
Well,
the
no,
opponent's size.
Oh, like,
So he basically
does
so
it turn off the card? Is the card like a?
I think that cancels out the shrink ray.
Like the shrink ray's not
No,
going to
how
work.
does that cancel out the shrink ray?
Because he can match the
It's
opponent's
my-
size.
it's my
So the
attribute,
idea,
though.
right. So the idea is that his attribute doesn't stop working though
Right.
in that way. So it's like you'll hit him with the shrink ray, he'll shrink down, but he's still got like that magic ability to match your size.
So he'll
he's
just
still-
grow right
Right.
back
So
again.
it'll be this thing where you could do it all day. Shrink, large, shrink, large,
Right.
shrink.
Kind of like
it turns into
Dormammu
a
with-
goofy bit.
right.
So so then the strategic, because John Matrix has the same background as John Rambo.
Sure.
That I think he'd be quick enough to shrink him and squash him.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Start to see what's going
Because
on
he
here.
doesn't have the ability to do that to me.
But John
Right.
Rambo is the super wily coyote genius that
So
you're
is
talking
John
about.
Matrix.
So even when you shrink him down, he will be able to hide and burrow so that you won't be able to stop him before
Yes.
he gets back to regular size.
Yeah, don't make him too small.
And you also just, defined Colonel John Matrix, who does the same things, Ed. So thank
Right.
you for your help. But he's
But
the
that-
same guy.
But that wouldn't mean.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's the same kind of guy doesn't negate the fact that Rambo would do that. It just means that he could do that too in that situation.
Yeah.
Well, they're the same kind of commando.
So there'd be a
special
lot
ops
of kind of like
guys.
thinking and like, kind of like assuming what another guy will do kind
Right.
of a thing.
So-
Now the strategic plan is that if his attribute is to be the same size as me,
Right.
I have an attribute to shrink him.
Sure.
You know what I mean? The guy
Right.
that I am,
Yeah.
I'm going to shrink him and squash him.
Yeah.
I see where
Before
you're going. You're
before
gonna.
he goes.
It's gonna be a thing where like you're gonna kind of like it's gonna go back and forth a couple times. You'll realize what's happening, and one last time you'll shrink him down and run over there and go to squish him.
Right.
Basically.
Be-
You know what I mean?
'cause, you know,
like I see.
they're-
I follow the logic on that.
Yeah, but I don't think Rambo's going to let that continue.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
necessarily gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, he
But
might jump
I-
on his shoe.
I think just when you
Yeah,
try to
he's gonna
stop,
grow again, and he's going to just take care of it.
yeah, he's gonna
Eventually
grow
he's
up
gonna-
again and smack you with a mirror.
Not true, because the fact is that if you shrink him, he's going to shrink. You
For
got to
a-
act.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And
You
these are
could
the
shoot.
guys
You
that
could
act.
shoot. You can shoot while you're running.
But
Exactly.
you had your turn, which was to shrink him, and now his turn would
Right.
be to grow back.
Right.
Right,
But he's
if-
saying like
but he's saying to shrink and attack.
Okay, guys, I think really what we've got here, it cancels each other out. So you
No,
basically
I
have
don't think so. I
a
don't-
10-story tall John Matrix against a 10-story tall John Rambo with antiques.
Yeah.
So
I think
by
that's-
that measure,
I think that's what we end up with.
yeah. Yeah, and I think the antiques are going to make the difference because you know what? Those spoons are sharper than you think they are.
I would be mostly afraid of a gravy boat, like an old school heavy cast
Oh,
iron gravy
man.
boat. But I don't think when you're 10 feet tall, that's gonna matter, because it's a couch. It's you know what I mean. It's a clock. It's small. You know, and plus, you know, he
The
might have.
antiques ain't going to do a goddamn thing.
Yeah, you know what else are antiques? Guns. All
But he's
right?
throwing
Oh,
them.
here
But
we
he
go.
throws antiques, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing? He throws them.
He's throwing them.
So he's
yeah.
throwing guns. He's just giving this guy more things to play with. I don't know. I don't know.
I think I have a little bit of the edge with the shrink.
I do too.
Stop.
I do too.
I think,
Using the cards.
I don't know.
at
I think
the
they
end.
negate each other in this.
yeah, I think this is a fair fight, and I think on balance, Rambo beats Commando.
By what logic? By the logic of what? Antiques
By
versus the fact
all
that
the
they-
reasons that you told me he beat John Wick.
Yeah, but the fact is that Colonel John Matrix is the same fucking guy with the same fucking
Skill set.
skill set. So go ahead. Now what? Now
Yeah.
we got equal guys.
Yeah, but
but Rambo still has stuff to throw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So-
he's gonna get shrunk before he can throw them and stop them. That's the
But-
that's the
All right,
one
yeah,
thing I
we
have.
got to get a ruling on this. Does this negate or not?
I don't think it necessarily does.
No.
I don't think it necessarily does. And in the end, even if it does or it doesn't, I still don't think him throwing the furniture is enough. I think Ed's got a fair point. Like, if you did cancel it out, you're left with them both being 10 feet tall and furniture. And furniture's not going to make the difference. You know what I mean? It's really not. But I think, for me, the whole thing with the shrink rays, I follow Jay's logic of, like, he would just shoot while he's running that one last time and not give him a chance to spring back up to normal size and squish him like a bug.
Right.
Like, he just wouldn't get the chance that one last time. He'd be like, oh, this is what's happening. It would take one or two exchanges of it, and he'd be like, I'm running over there.
All right. Well, let me put it to you this way: the moment
And I'm,
he
10,
shrinks,
and I'm 10 stories tall.
the
It's not
moment
going
he
to take long.
the moment he shrinks, he's vulnerable.
Yeah.
at that second.
There's a moment. Yeah,
And
there's a
these are
moment.
the
There's a
s-
beat.
and
There's at
these
least
are
a
the-
beat.
And these are guys with the same fucking skill set that he's going to act fast. That's where I think it is. Because had Rambo had that, I'd say Rambo. Because he's got that, one little thing.
Well, for however which way we all take it, what are the votes? I'm putting it to John Matrix.
So am I.
So I'm gonna say on balance.
How about just say?
How about just
Yeah,
who you
on
vote?
balance, I think Rambo is the better fighter. So I'm gonna go with Rambo.
Rambo.
But you didn't see Commando, so you can't even say that.
I don't know who would win if this was just without the gun. But,
Right, if it was straight up fight.
yeah, because they are basically the same guy.
Yeah.
Although I do lean a little bit to having seen more of that stuff from Rambo as
Right.
a character.
It runs deeper.
I think, based on that, Rambo would probably win. But the fact of the matter is, he's got a ray gun, so he does have a little bit of an edge.
So you're going
So I guess I'm going John Matrix.
John Matrix with the shrink ray. And Agent Palmer's vote in the chat room, taking it to shrink ray. All right, so that settles that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings us now to where are we at now? eh?
Bruce Lee in Berserker Rage
Oh shit.
against Brian Mills with an invisibility cloak.
All right, I don't even have to.
Okay.
Well, let's bring in these second round of cards. So that's going to be for Lee. This one's going to be for Brian Mills from Taken. Jay.
I have X-ray vision.
Shit. Well, wow. We might get into an argument about that, but let's go on. Let's find out what.
But Brian Mills throws 200-mile-per-hour fastballs.
I don't know how effective that is.
Yeah, I
against
don't
Bruce
think
Lee.
I still. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they are coming out of a guy in an invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
So I could see, that kind of being a thing. It's a pretty good weapon if you
but
can
Bruce,
keep away from him.
well,
Okay,
Bruce Lee
so
without Berserker mode is gonna dodge those fucking balls. He's just that quick.
Well, he's in Berserker
You know what I
mode,
mean?
so that,
He-
that gives him some
I
reaction
didn't, I
time.
even said without Berserker mode.
Oh, without? I don't know about
Even
without.
He's
I don't know
fucking
without.
quick though.
He might knock him out of the air.
He can also take fastballs.
200 miles an hour
No,
fastballs? Yeah,
nah.
he can. I mean, he's Bruce Lee, but he ain't
200
magic.
miles an hour goes to a tree.
Yeah,
know what I
they'll
mean?
take your fucking head off.
But in Berserker,
Dave's
all
trying-
right.
yeah.
Berserker mode. I think
Berserker
because
mode.
of Berserker mode, you might have an edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, what
They're
I
too
would say
superpower.
is basically the invisibility cloak and the X-ray vision cancel each other out.
Yeah, because I'm wondering how that's going to
so
work.
yeah. So this is
I'm not
basic.
even talking about my power.
This is basically
Fair
the
enough.
Berserker Rage versus the fastballs, and I think that Brian Mills' particular set of skills will basically, because he's in this Berserker Rage, he will be easy to manipulate and just bring him into a corner, lead him into a corner, and just pound him with those fastballs.
Never.
Yeah,
Never.
I don't
Never,
know.
never, never.
I don't know. It's Bruce Lee though. It's always like it's another bone. He's almost like
It's
Batman.
Berserker Bruce.
It's Berserker Bruce Lee though.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
talking about a person who in real life almost had superpowers.
yeah, like I feel like once he
Now
like
you're basically giving him superpowers.
like in that scenario that you just kind of put out, like once you kind of got him like once Bruce knew like you were that close to his proximity,
yeah, it was
like it
kinda-
would just be a fury onto your general
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah, you got to remember that he's a martial artist, kung fu. It's not just moves; it's knowing what's going on around you. It's being able to listen. It's being able to sense things.
But that's what I'm saying. The Berserker Rage takes all that away.
Not true.
See,
because
It's
see,
just
that's the
blind.
thing.
It's
No.
blind rage,
No.
which means you're
Berserker
just
rage.
pounding,
No,
pounding,
that's Berserker
pounding
rage.
without thinking about anything
That's
that's
blind
going
rage.
around.
That's-
No, and I'll
blind
tell you
rage.
why. Because the
different.
moment Brian Mills went to throw a ball, he'd be gone. He'd be,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because if I have X-ray vision, I can see where he is.
Well, that's what we're wondering about. Does X-ray vision work on invisibility? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I think it would.
well,
'cause I feel like X-ray is
X-
science and
X-ray,
invisibility
well,
cloak is magic. First,
yeah, actually,
to get to that point.
an invisibility cloak would bend light around the person, so that it looks like the area around him is what you're seeing, and not the person. But the person is still there. So X-ray vision is going to show you bones.
Well, here's the thing, right? That light, that trick of the light works to the naked eye.
Ah.
But this X-ray vision is not a technical thing. It's within the eyes,
But it's radiation
but it's X-ray vision. It's not it's
from
cold.
from radiation.
No, but it's cold X-ray vision because you can see through things. but it's not literal radiation. Everybody would X-ray vision would
It's
get
called
cancer.
It's called
I feel like
X-ray
it's-
vision. It's radiation.
But I feel like that's just like a vernacular thing as opposed to like
Just
a
because
literal.
he's
You made it in the
throwing-
40s. You used to go into a store to get shoes, and you take a look at your bones in your feet.
No, yeah, I know how an X-ray machine works.
what I mean?
But all I'm saying is X-ray specs don't
And
use
that's worse with
radiation.
radiation.
Yeah, X-ray specs didn't work with radiation, and those
X-ray
things.
specs didn't work.
Listen, just because he's throwing 200-mile-an-hour
Right,
fastballs doesn't
right.
mean he's going to land and hit a berserker Bruce Lee,
Right.
who's probably going to be off the side of this wall and off the ceiling, and seeing where they're
Yeah.
coming from, and go berserker on
Yeah.
on
The source.
Brian
Really,
Mills.
if Bruce Lee's just bouncing around the room trying to avoid what's going on, and he can figure out where you're throwing the balls from, because you basically have to be stationary, it's over.
So yeah, more or less. I mean, eventually he'll get you.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
You
Eventually
need
he'll
1
get
second.
See, but I think that's the thing is with the Berserker
One-inch
Rage,
punch.
you're so focused on the rage that if you took the moment to think, it's not Berserker anymore.
Yeah, but
you. We got a ruling from Wesley. Wesley says the invisibility bends all light, including X-rays. And I'm just gonna say because Wesley said it, it's a fact.
So that means that he can distract him and make him think he's someplace he's not.
yeah, but
And
Wow.
and because the bending light would maybe.
Yeah.
but he's throwing fastballs, so he knows where he's at.
Well, he knows where the balls are definitely coming
We're
from.
coming from.
Yeah,
so
so-
Berserker Bruce Lee is just going to go ape
Right.
shit in that general
X-ray vision
direction.
or not.
Yeah, you're reading because
1
even if
second.
you're running around and throwing and doing that really fast, like in a flash style,
Yeah.
you're still giving away your trajectory.
Right.
And
right.
you're giving away your trajectory away to the world's greatest martial artist, who's now in berserker mode and ready to kick
Right.
your ass all over the
All
world.
right, we are really running out of time, so we got to vote.
Yeah. Okay. So
Bruce Lee
we're-
Berserker.
Bruce.
For me.
yeah, I gotta go, Bruce.
Damn, it's Bruce.
Yeah, damn, it's Bruce. All right, Bruce Lee in that one with the visibility rage.
Maybe you don't
cloak.
fight so hard with the ones you think.
All right, so we are
right.
nearing the end here.
So now we got. Now this is straight up. Everything resets, right?
Everything resets. We're gonna put all those cards to the side. We'll be doing 2 more rounds, so we'll do 1 card and then 2 cards.
Yeah.
So
And he's gonna have to be quick.
he's gonna have to be quick. So McLean
Versus
is gonna
John,
have this ability or detriment.
John Matrix.
He's gonna have that ability or detriment. John McLean, what is your skill or hindrance?
You can't stop dancing.
And
Come out to the coast, have a little dance.
John Matrix can can read minds.
So he knows you're having a good time.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think the dancing thing is a hindrance to John McClane because John McClane dances
I'm
in
gonna,
in Die Hard movies,
He does do a little shimmy kind of thing, right?
And when he cuts his feet in the first one, he's dancing all the time. Avoid that
He's a
flash.
hot stepper from there on.
Right? So
Well, I'm just going to say this.
Yeah.
For all the reasons I've stuck up for John Matrix is the
Sure.
reason why he's going to win this. So I give it to John Matrix on principle.
On principles alone.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But reading the minds is really pretty
Yeah,
key.
although all the curse words in John McClane's head may distract him.
You are very filthy mouth. You very, very naughty mouth.
yeah, when I was talking about John McClane before, I wasn't actually trying to make my vote.
Fair enough.
I
yeah,
was
you
going
just
for
put it
John
out
Matri-
there.
Yeah, it was John Matrix.
John Matrix. John Matrix can read minds. John McClane can't stop dancing. I mean, for me, it's Matrix. It's
So
Johnny Matrix.
All of us agree it's Matrix.
It's Matrix into the last round, and on the other side we got Bond versus Lee.
It's no contest, really.
Let's give this one to Bob. You never know. This is always the thing that changes it. Is the card from
the
Super
cards.
Fight?
So I
you,
can't stop
you give me the
dancing.
card first, so I'm Bond.
Yes, that would be correct. So Bond, remember this is a 1 skill type fight. So what's Bond got
Okay.
on there, Bobby?
Bond can take the form of anything they touch.
Okay.
Okay, and Bruce Lee can possess the opponent for 30 seconds, then gets very tired.
Oof.
All right. Well, I can basically just like touch Bruce Lee, be Bruce Lee.
You could take now. How was it phrased again?
Can take the form of anything they touch.
The form.
Take the form of anything they
Like
touch.
form of a bucket of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There we go. And even if Bruce Lee possesses James Bond, that
What do you do with
possession
that?
is going to bring back all the memories of the betrayal that happened with Vesper Lind. And not only will he be tired,
Damn Vesper Lind.
he will be bone-crushingly depressed.
So they'll
And-
both be sitting there, like don't know what to do.
Well,
with
yeah, no.
myself?
And then the thing is, Bond will shake it off
Right, and with the new
by
skill-
that time, he'll take whatever thing around him and just immediately cut into Lee and destroy him.
Wow.
I think this is really cut and dry.
Oh, you do, huh?
He's working hard to win this.
He's working hard.
Listen, you're talking about Bruce Lee being able to do something and then be exhausted for 30 seconds. So James Bond just becomes Bruce Lee, and then while he's tired, kicks his ass.
And I think that Lee, like, he takes control of you for 30 seconds. Like, just makes Bond shoot himself in the head.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not like a physical thing, right? I mean, it's not like, oh, I become you or I'm in your mindscape. I just take control of you, like hypnotism, basically, or something.
Yeah, but if he does that, he's got to shoot himself.
No, because
Well, not if he doesn't do it. You
your
guys do.
Bruce Lee gets tired too.
Right.
Because you're
Just
touching.
take the form.
You're taking the form.
Just-
of,
All the form, none of the skills.
It takes the form.
Oh, well, which
wait,
way do you
that's
want
right. That's right. It's just the form.
it? So he just looks like him.
But now Bruce Lee is gonna shoot Bruce Lee.
A tired Bruce
Yeah.
Lee will kick. The
Bruce
shit
Lee
out
knows
of-
Bruce Lee knows it's not him, but I don't think Bruce Lee has to do any of that. I think Bruce Lee just takes control of you by
Yeah,
mind,
I-
and you're James Bond. He makes you shoot yourself in the head with
That's a
your
game changer.
P-38 or whatever.
Yeah, I give it to Bruce Lee.
It's a Walter PPK.
Walter PPK. I know it was something like that. I went to school at Walter PPK. But I mean, that's what I would say. I mean, it's not Bruce Lee's way traditionally, but
It's
if it's
Bruce Lee.
a death match, I think he just takes. Now he's got that ability.
Yeah.
That's gonna be. I don't know. I think that's for me.
I think this is James Bond here.
And
I
what was your
think
push on that?
Lee's ability is going to work against him. Because like he can't kill himself because then he can't shoot himself in the head.
But he doesn't have hit Bruce Lee's abilities.
No. Okay, we're talking about a couple different things. So when Bruce Lee is possessing James Bond, he can't shoot himself in the head because then he would also kill himself.
No. He's taking control.
We're
Taking
not
control.
saying anything about killing
The card,
himself.
as stated, is takes control.
No. Okay, we're talking
take
about.
the
I'm talking
form.
about Bruce Lee's ability,
Right.
which is to possess the opponent for 30 seconds,
And then he gets very tired.
and then he gets very tired.
yeah.
So
So you can't possess. He's saying he can't possess the person, and then shoot
Himself.
Have that person shoot
Okay.
himself
'Cause
because he's
at the-
inside the person.
yeah,
And at the very least,
You
you,
know,
wouldn't know
no,
if
the-
he would survive it or
the
not.
best he can do
Okay.
is like cut himself so that and then hope that the possession
Oh,
ends
okay.
before he bleeds
I
out.
would do that. I would do that. Then.
But who
you know.
says he has to use that? Who says he has to possess the guy? If that's going to be something that works
May not
against
work
him,
out.
he may not do it and just kick fucking Bond's ass.
Yeah, but the thing is like
Go back to the other
yeah.
skills.
so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if he takes the
Look,
form.
this is Bruce Lee. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Bruce
no,
Lee.
but if Bond takes the form of something metal or like his gun, all of a sudden, that kick that Bruce Lee does is gonna crush his foot. And no matter how hard he kicks or punches, he won't do anything but hurt himself.
It's the quickness of how he kicks and punches, though. Before he can
Yeah.
actually touch something, Bruce Lee will get in a few kicks.
Yeah.
The semantics these fights always come down to. The
I'm
tiniest,
being-
the tiniest
I'm
thing-
actually being
No, but we're all.
grounded.
I think we're all following
Yeah.
the logic
What are
threads.
the votes?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. You said Bond.
I don't think you guys are thinking this through. I'm saying James Bond.
Very thorough. Very thorough.
Yeah, I think
I think
I think a small Asian man.
Nah,
who's
I'm
a
gonna give it to
master of
Bruce
the
Lee on
martial
this
arts
one.
is gonna
Yeah.
kick James Bond's ass up and down.
No, because whatever form he takes, Bruce Lee will not be able to penetrate.
But you don't know that
You
for
don't
sure.
know that for sure.
I mean, if you want to lock it down to it's just steel or it's just metal, then yeah. For the most part, he's not gonna, get through that. But
Here's a piece of steel.
But
By the time he touches it, you got 9 kicks in your fucking head. You know what I mean?
maybe
It's-
Bruce Lee takes all his sweat off his forehead and flicks it at him, and he's like, "Be like water, my friend."
Yeah, and then
And then
Bond,
Bruce Lee's
then
water- and
Bond would
Bond's water.
flow through him and drown him and just get in his lungs and kill him.
Damn you!
He wouldn't be able to get it off.
Yeah, I'm telling
He's
you,
too quick.
Bond takes his hands down.
All right, my vote's Lee.
Bruce Lee, hands down.
My vote's Lee.
Unoriginal.
Unfortunately, we're-
Fucks.
Bruce Lee's
All
down.
right.
All right. Unoriginal. That's why we're unoriginal. We're fighting over the card from Superfight. That's not like an instinctive power. Like we're just going with Bruce Lee, I guess. All right.
No,
So
I'm not. I'm trying.
I know I'm arguing what he just said under his breath. All right. Unoriginal fucks. All right. So John Matrix in his last round can read minds and do whatever this card I'm giving Jay says. And
Give
Bob,
it-
Bob,
yeah,
Bob,
no.
Bob put his glasses on. Okay, Bob's gonna take that one. For Bruce Lee, John Matrix, what's your extra skill in addition to reading minds?
He's just into fonts.
He's so like Papyrus,
Comic Sans,
Tahoma.
Comic Sans, Tahoma. There's a good one. Impact,
Verdana.
Verdana. All right.
Times New Roman.
Sure.
Look at Journal Matrix, dude.
Let's see what Lee's got going on over there in addition to
turn-
taking control of you for 30 seconds
And getting really tired.
and getting
Well,
really
he's
tired.
going to do it while he's very safe because he's going to be floating down on a parachute.
The whole time. I guess. I don't know. Like, how does that one work?
Now, what did Matrix have before?
The Matrix can read minds,
He can read minds, right?
and
So you
now,
can-
And he's all about fonts.
and he's all about fonts.
So he can see it coming when Bruce Lee takes over his mind and makes him shit his pants and die of embarrassment.
I
But
think.
Bruce Lee's in the air.
Yeah.
I think John Matrix pulls out a sample sheet of Comic Sans font, and it's Bruce Lee's green card in Comic Sans,
Ooh.
and
That's
that's what
racist.
crushes him like in his soul.
I think he writes Bruce Lee's death into Tahoma font.
Into Homa.
Into Tahoma font. Well, if he can read Bruce Lee's mind,
Yeah.
he's gonna know where he's gonna land, then, right?
Well, kind of. I mean, but that's just trajectory. I mean, if the guy's coming down in a parachute, you can see where he's going to end
here
up.
it is. I think I can end it with
All right,
this.
well, give it a go.
John Matrix is a commando.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's got a rocket launcher. Bruce Lee is basically a sitting duck in a parachute. Colonel John Matrix is a good fucking shot.
And if you can argue the rocket launcher all you want, and all I'll say is the man literally was doing curls with a tree
Yes.
in the movie.
Yes.
So if you take away the rocket launcher, he will find something big and hurl it at a parachuting.
I'm going to
Bruce
say
Lee.
this: since Bruce Lee is now in a parachute,
Yeah.
pretty much just waiting to go down.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And Commando is a fucking one man army.
Yeah.
I think Bruce Lee finally meets his demise.
No, because you miss one thing.
Uh-oh.
Bruce Lee is very safely way out of reach, but he's going to take over your mind, and you're never going to use the rocket launcher.
For 30 seconds.
For 30 seconds.
And then you're tired.
But you still.
But
That only buys you
you
30
gotta,
seconds.
So he's going to make you blow yourself up with the rocket launcher.
I don't know.
But we were
that's-
saying this wasn't going to work with the shot. I couldn't use that with the gun.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you guys remember I was going to be like, oh,
Right.
he takes over Bond and Bond shoots himself in the head. And I was told no because he
right,
thinks he's going
right.
to kill himself with
If
that.
you're in a parachute,
Right,
it's
right.
going to take much more than 30 seconds to get down to Earth. That's just it.
That's fine.
You know what I
because
mean?
that's exactly what he wants, though, because he's going to do something to make you kill yourself. That is going to take longer than 30 seconds.
But he just said,
well, he's running with the protracted thing, which was the
All
thing we
right.
thought of at the end. Like,
Yeah.
if you cut yourself really good
Yeah.
and then jump out the body, maybe you'll bleed to death.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
and who
like,
says he has to stay in there for the full 30 seconds?
That's, I
Maybe
mean,
he
that's
could just
true.
command you to run into a tree head first and then jump out.
Jump out right before you hit. Hope that you time it well.
I don't know. It's Bruce Lee. He's in the parachute.
Is that what I said? Is that
That's what
I
I'm
said?
saying.
Oh, I thought that's what I sounded like.
I don't know. I think he's an army. I think he'll get him out.
All right.
This is not easy.
It isn't. This is actually
This
a
is
good
this,
one.
this is actually a kind of a crazy one, even if it wasn't down to these other skills.
I'm going to vote Matrix based on the fact that he's an army and he can,
He's a one-man army.
He'll take that. He'll take it out.
He'll
I'm
hit you with a rock.
also going to vote Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Bruce Lee. I think with his power, he's going to figure out a way to kill you.
Yeah. I don't know.
Have you kill yourself
But he's
and be safe.
his strengths can't be
He's
used.
up in the
here,
air,
really.
so after he does it,
kinda what I
he's going to
feel.
float down for until he wakes up.
I don't know. I feel like Matrix is gonna peg him from the sky.
Me too.
Oh.
And he'll find a way to do it.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna go Matrix. That's where I'm leaning. And even Palmer said Matrix. So if me and Bob had synced up on Lee, Palmer would have taken it with the Matrix vote.
So
It's
all right,
Matrix
so
all the way, and that's
That's it.
the big guy on this one, folks. That's the big winner, John Matrix, Arnold
Right.
Schwarzenegger's character from Commando, folks.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with that ending. Actually,
Yeah, yeah, no,
It's
yeah.
actually good.
It's
I
actually a
think so.
fair win.
Oh, I'm just glad this is over.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be getting any Papa Smurf style emails.
No, we'll get them about something else.
Yeah.
We'll get them about something. It'll be interesting to see what people kind of maybe nitpick about this one. Send those emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com. If you have any suggestions or tips on how we can make this better next time around, include those too. Let us know, because we're going to want to bounce off some notes. We might change this up a little every year a little bit,
Yeah.
besides just the theme.
Yeah. I blame myself for not being in the pre-show meeting.
Well, I blame myself for not having a pre-show meeting
Yeah.
about this particular bit. Because if that would have came up, we would have had that fight
Yeah.
off mic. But there again, entertainment. Yay. Yay, entertainment.
Oh, I'm totally tweeting the James Bonding.
What did I win?
I'm totally retweeting the James Bonding podcast.
Yeah.
They will get it. Even if they don't talk about it on air, I know Matt Gorley and Matt Meyer will get a huge kick out of this.
You might
'cause-
want to time code them to when the argument really kind of starts.
yes, yeah.
And then they'll go back and probably listen.
because I've had them in my head for the last 3 years, and that's all they do is the finer points of the different types of James Bonds.
Yeah, they argue the minutia
Yeah.
of each particular
Yeah.
one and how it's all different and stuff. So I get that totally. and I'm very aware of both of them.
Yeah.
So I know what goes on there without having
Yeah.
to be there in a way. Like I can feel it. But that is a great podcast. What's the name of that?
James Bonding.
James Bonding. People should check that out. Matt
Yeah.
Mary's pretty cool. And what was the other guy?
Matt Gorley.
Hey, Matt Gorley.
And
Yeah, I know
Matt
Matt
Mi-
Gorley.
Yeah, and their last episode they talked about the 1967 Casino Royale with Maurice LaMarche,
Whoever that is.
the voice of Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
All right, so kids, we're gonna wrap it up. But thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out, listening live. If you did, you can listen to us live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes we do special episodes like this. Sometimes we just hang around, do a looser version. We call it the after show. If people want to support us on Patreon, they can do that. Patreon.com/Wicked Theory. You can find a whole bunch of after shows. Maybe some new content coming there soon. We're gonna have a conversation about that in just a little bit, maybe.
And don't forget, you can also join Mixler. You can get emails. You follow us over there.
Get alerts.
And then you get alerts so that you know when we're on. 'Cause sometimes we're on now just doing little test runs.
Yeah, the Friday night mic
So,
test.
Yeah, this is Friday, right? Friday
Yeah.
night mic test.
It's the craziest thing I've ever done in my life.
And you never know. Sometimes we're testing out new stuff, so we actually want to hear from you guys. So if you're around, you get the email.
Come on by.
Yeah, come on by.
Hang out.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff is in the Mixler show reel, which has a whole bunch of like stuff that's not in our normal feed. We just kind of like leave it over here, so there's something else to kind of find and discover. You can actually hear Uncle Jay breaking down his secret acting career, kind of in a way, on a recent Mixler file that's on the show reel.
Yeah.
It's broken into
The
two
quest-
pieces.
Yeah, the quest to become the next Chaz Palminteri.
There you go. Chaz,
Nice.
huh? Chaz Palminteri, that's what you're going for?
Whatever pays.
Whatever pays. I'll be his checks. I'll take his checks. How about that?
Hey,
More like
listen.
Chaz, pay me, Terry.
If I can be a typecast villain for a little while,
Sure, why not?
As long as the income comes in.
That's it.
That's it.
'Cause that's all the villains care about is the money,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you got to pay for the hookers and the alcohol somehow.
Or the death ray, whatever it takes. All right, kids. A big special thank you to Agent Palmer for helping out behind the scenes and keeping us all on track and helping us out with the document live. People, please check out agentpalmer.com. He's got a brand new spoiler-free review up there and write up on Ready Player One. He just saw it the other day. Get some fresh feedback. Get somebody else's point of view. Check out his article. Check
Yeah.
out all of his stuff. He's a big help to the show.
So
And,
Bill,
He's got a lot of cool stuff.
and
over there.
hey Bill,
and he's very helpful, Jay. He's very fucking helpful, man. Good night, folks.
Night.
Colonel John Matrix.
For the win!
For the